Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Non-Standard Action. We are back with Series 2 today, starting on Episode 0. And as you can see, we have shiny new video in our overlay for your viewing pleasure.
You get to see our shining faces.
You get to see our shining faces every Sunday morning now.
It's dark.
And we enabled channel points in Twitch, so you guys can send us a toot or a burger. If you guys have recommendations for more things, shoot them our way on Discord or in stream chat. We're looking for more things to add, and we'd love to hear your ideas on that. But without further ado, let's go around our virtual table here and give everyone a chance to say good morning. Simon, what?
Cut out that.
You're muted.
Well, I was muted. That was my bad. But you also cut out over the question.
Oh, I said, what's up?
Oh, not much. The ceiling. My weekend. We had CritterCon yesterday, and it was kind of fun. But we blew all of our charity crits. Sorry, I'm stealing your story, Tom. We blew all of our charity crits on the big bad god. So sub-tier 12 is not as exciting as we thought it would be.
It was still very exciting.
It was still very exciting, but yeah.
I calculated it. I did 247
you did like 4
damage in one turn.
Oh, in one turn. Yes.
That's disgusting.
It was insane.
Crit on every attack of a full attack?
Miraculous. Well, I didn't make a single full attack except at the end of the charge. But
and we've got Leaf, who looks like he has a body on his bed. Should we be concerned, Leaf?
What?
Why you gotta bring that up? I'm not hiding. It's just a body pillow. I'm just lonely.
It was a body pillow.
It's a body pillow. Don't look in the body pillow.
Likely.
Don't look in the body pillow.
People start sending in
Don't even act.
covers for Leaf's body pillow, and we have him pose with them. Like, oh, it's Hanzo from Overwatch.
It's perfect.
Oh no!
Don't even
no.
pretend you don't know it's called a Dakimakura.
I didn't actually. It never mattered.
No, what?
I'm so embarrassed now.
I mean, it's surprising, given the number of conventions I've worked at, that I never picked up that word. I'm wearing a convention shirt right now. But
We've got Mac is broadcasting from a deep, dark cave. Is this what the Harry Potter house looks like on the inside, Tom?
no.
oh my god, that explains so much.
Maybe. It's a backdrop. Here. I have a hedgehog blanket underneath this one. Because it covers because somebody heard I liked hedgehogs. Everybody heard I liked hedgehogs. So Sarah and I got a whole bunch of hedgehog blankets for Christmas this year.
We all know you like hedgehogs.
We never would have
you know?
known. No, we had no
now
idea.
I could eventually show Pepper on the stream now. It's very exciting. But yeah. No, but I'm good. Yeah, Simon did in fact steal my story about CritterCon. But that's okay. I got a really shiny new race boon out of CritterCon, which is very exciting for Starfinder Society. I'm gonna make a bowling ball vanguard. I've decided.
Explain.
So in a nutshell, because he's medium. The Bolida are a bug race of people. Think centipedes. And so they can. One of their racial things is they have a rolling charge, which allows them to. They have another racial thing, which allows them to curl up into a defensive ball.
So more like millipedes.
I guess
Roly-polies.
Yeah. They're roly-polies. And so the only thing you can do in that curled up ball is take total defense, or take a rolling charge. And so you get a big bonus to the rolling charge. And so he's just gonna once a combat, get a strike on somebody. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be it's
in the bull rush. It's
Nice.
It's just a bonus to bull rush, right?
It is a bonus to bull rush. You can charge, but you don't actually make an attack. You either bull rush or trip. So you're either going to slam into somebody and throw them into a wall, or literally bowl them over.
All right, guys. Judy says hi. Everybody say hi, Judy.
Hi,
Judy.
Hi, Judy.
Stream policy.
Sheriff
We got to say hi to Judy.
Sheriff also says that you should get your hair sculpted to look like a hedgehog, Tom. What would the donation to Doctors Without Borders have to be to get you to sculpt your hair like a It would be a delayed gratification thing. Tom would have to grow his hair.
To clarify, they're saying like a hedgehog, not like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Not spiky, not like
But an
Sonic,
actual
but
hedgehog.
like an actual.
But
I would have to
look
sculpt
like
it
an actual hedgehog. Yeah.
like a topiary,
Mhm.
which is appropriate because my hair, when I grow it out, it does become a bush. It doesn't grow down; it just keeps growing thicker and like up a little bit. This is actually the longest my hair's been in a while. Yeah, no, this is a thing that I don't want to say it's a thing that could happen, but it's possible. Anything can happen if you let it.
Put a dollar amount on it, Tom.
I don't know. I value my appearance somewhat. $200.
All right, you guys heard it. If you guys donate $200 to Doctors Without Borders with a note saying for Tom to grow his hair out and sculpt it like a hedgehog, we'll make him do it.
You're a cheap date, Tom.
$200. That's all you guys
Yeah, wow. I'm considering bringing guys.
I didn't have a chance to think about like
$200.
what was actually gonna be it. I don't know. Do you guys think I should have asked for more?
No, it's too late now.
Too late now. Since that is done.
Can we do it as a group or as a one lump donation? What do you think?
I think they could do it as a group.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask somebody to donate $200 of their money for a one-off goof.
You're very generous.
I don't think you value your hair enough, buddy.
There are 15 of you in chat. That's a little bit it's a little bit more than $10 a person. So
That's true.
if everybody goes and donates, this could be a thing in a couple of weeks. We could see Tom with hedgehog hair.
Let me go ahead and put the link in case people don't have it.
Oh, yes, please.
To the event page, which, by the way, they have blown past every goal so far. Currently, they are attempting to hit 5,000.
Yeah, they have.
Last night, they were trying to hit 4,000.
I was very
surprised
past that. When I refreshed that page this morning. I was like, whoa.
Nice.
Yeah, they're now at $4,854 raised.
Nice.
So big shout out to everyone who's donated for CritterCon. We're raising money for a really great cause, and this is looking like it's going to be the biggest, best CritterCon yet, which is really, really exciting. Which brings us to Seth. How was your weekend?
Geez. What is a weekend anymore?
Meaningless.
Okay, yeah. Too early for an existential crisis right now.
Honestly, it's gotten to the point now that because of this game, this is the only time that anything is expected of me. So the weekend has somehow taken the reverse role where most of the week nobody cares where I am or what I'm doing, but Sunday morning.
Sunday morning, we
hold you accountable.
Yeah.
And you blowing past the $3,000 mark means that someone is gonna get some Seth art.
Well, it's already been decided, so don't. If you haven't gotten the notification, don't hold your breath.
Don't hold your breath. But there's lots of other great prizes that you guys can get. So keep your ears on. Keep signing up for games. We got games all day still. And I'm sure there's pickup games besides what's already listed. So lots of fun stuff to do for CritterCon. And last but certainly not least, we have Liz. Liz, how's your week been?
Good. I built the thing behind Simon. See, what else did I do? I slept a lot. That was nice. I've been making crumpets.
From
Nick doesn't
Herald?
want it. Yeah, from Herald, my sourdough starter.
So gross. Why did we pick that name?
Because he's a goopy boy who can become many things. It's
Including
very
food.
obvious. Yeah.
Mostly just food.
I just love that it's named Herald, and I thought our audience would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to stop offering Simon.
You're muted.
Liz, you're muted.
It's funny because now we can see.
Now we can
that this
see
is
people
happening.
talking when they're muted.
I was apparently in a bar that it didn't count my keybind. Anyhow, yeah. So Simon has asked me to stop asking him, "Hey, do you want any of this Herald? Do you want any of this? To eat any
It just
Herald?"
made it a little bit less appetizing. That's all I'm saying. If you say like, do you want one of my like a thing of sourdough starter? That sounds good. That's a food.
Yeah, if
But
you want a
my last
sourdough
season,
crumpet.
the character I played last season feels like a little bit like self cannibalism. I don't know. Grotesque.
Eating gives a whole new meaning to eating your babies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Saturn ate his babies. I mean, it didn't work out so hot for him, but you know.
I don't think we really want to emulate those Greek gods.
Yeah,
For
they.
me, a Nindenburger, I probably wouldn't go for it either.
Speaking of biological horror, my mom actually has a couple of frogs. Had one of them is no longer with us, but they frequently made babies and then ate them. It was just a thing they did.
So
Frog.
gross.
Frogs, man.
And on that note,
Well, we're gonna today we're doing session 0, which is the chance for these guys to introduce their new characters for Threefold Conspiracy. Threefold Conspiracy has been out for a little while now, so most of you are probably familiar with it, but this is a intrigue campaign, which is really exciting, especially for me. It hits on a lot of the things I really wanted to do with Starfinder. And these guys did a really great job with the intrigue parts of Signal of Screams, which you guys didn't get to see. It was the last campaign we ran before starting the show. Some of you who've been following along heard a lot about it. So hopefully this will give you guys a little bit of what that was like and a whole new cast of characters to fall in love with. Oh, Sheriff donated to the Tom Hare Fund. Can we get a toot toot? Tom,
give a
noises
toot
with your
toot.
mouth.
What?
toot toot.
Oh, toot toot. Sorry, I thought
You
you
guys
meant
can
in
toot
the
toot in
stream.
chat too.
All right. Let's
Yeah, we
let's
don't
open up this
Actually have
Doctors
anything
Without
set up
Borders
for that
tab.
yet, guys.
Yeah, someone keep an eye on that Doctors Without Borders tab.
I am
and let
terribly
us
afraid.
know if Tom has to redo his hair.
I'm
That's
gonna
gonna
try.
be pretty great.
Here's a disclaimer. I don't want anybody disappointed. I am not a hairstylist. I don't know how it will look, but I will do my damnedest to get a
You
head
gotta
shot in
Go
this
to a
hair.
barber shop. Oh wait, you can't.
Oh,
And
wait,
he'll
I can't.
post
Oh wait, COVID.
pictures all over the Discord.
Yep. I have a solution. It might involve shaving my head. Most of my head.
It's gonna be great.
Is your solution just like shaving your head and replacing your hair with a hat that is of the desired
Or
shape?
Pepper?
No. I would shave a hedgehog into my hair.
Ah, yes, that would do it.
Ah.
Yeah.
Just
you
grow
know,
the
like
middle part.
Some
the
kids
side,
get their basketball
and then
number
sort of-
shaved into their hair.
Yeah, all right. It's a cop out, but it's an acceptable one.
That would take months to grow my hair out into a bush that would be acceptable for a hedgehog.
I said it was an
Yeah.
acceptable one, Tom. I don't know what else you want from me.
So I guess,
Yeah.
I guess, audience, you have to choose between like immediate gratification and Tom shaving a hedgehog shape into his hair, or delayed gratification where Tom grows it out long enough to make a topiary.
And the actual
we're in
topiary
quarantine,
will
so
have
no
a
one will. So it won't really. So it's a thing that could happen. We're gonna be in quarantine forever.
Yeah,
So-
your students
still
won't
video
even be able
chat.
to make fun of you.
I do still video chat with my students for band lessons and stuff like that. And with
Okay, then
all
maybe
of
that'll
my-
keep their
all of my
attention better.
colleagues. Yeah.
I think your students will get a kick out of it, especially you're doing it for charity.
For sure.
Yeah.
This would not be the first time.
I donated my hair to charity. I can't cut it. I have to wait until it's long enough to be a hedgehog.
Can't cut my hair. Do you want those doctors to be dealing with borders?
They don't have any borders. They need
No,
more
we need
borders.
to get the doctors the borders, Simon.
Oh,
So they
Oh,
don't get
that's rude.
COVID.
Oh, I see. Yeah, physical.
that's-
Okay, I get it.
Orders. Yeah. That's the running joke this year. All right. Are you guys
Last
ready to introduce these shiny new characters?
Sure.
Your 15 minutes of
Are we
Oh, God.
introducing? Are we introducing them like in res?
In res?
Do you mean in media res?
Yeah.
He means
Yes.
Medias Res, yes.
Yes. That. Next
Are
question.
we going to resurrect them? Are we going to res?
Are we meeting them mid-resurrection?
All right, y'all get like 15 seconds to make fun of me.
We've taken that.
okay,
Oh,
That's
we're
your
gonna need a
15
whole lot more than that.
All right. Seth, can we get some mystery sci-fi music, please? And let's see.
Gotta give
Who is
him
the
cues ahead of time.
I don't think we need cues ahead of time necessarily. Got this under control.
It helps. It helps.
Okay, I'll add that to my notes list of things to work on as I learn to be in this fancy new GM chair that's alive and not just GMing for these nerds, you know, on our own private channels.
Ooh,
So I've worked this out in an order so that it looks nice on the stream. So we'll go around, and if each of you could tell us a little bit about your character and what brings them to Legacy Station. Let's start with... Oh, I think I did that wrong. What did you guys see there?
Absolutely
Did
not.
Iris light up? Nothing.
I saw nothing.
I will be honest with you. I've just had our video chat up for now since I knew we weren't Roll20.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, I was
Video
just
chat?
sort of
How many greens
doing
do you
a
have,
goof.
Tom?
I have 1.5. The half is a Chromebook, and that's Twitch. That's over there. So when you see me go like this, I'm hacking the mainframe on Twitch.
I'm hacking the mainframe.
I'm in.
I could have sworn I sent it to the background layer. Let's move the... Now what do you see?
I
Just
want to
Iris.
only see Iris.
Oh
He's a lonely boy. They're a lonely
Cool.
android
They're a
all by
lonely
themselves.
android. Yes.
no! Well, I guess tell us about Iris. My light up thing isn't working completely properly, so I guess I'll just bring you in one at a time this way.
The problem with live stuff.
Quite all right.
It worked.
raining
It worked
in the
in-
city by the bay.
What brings Iris to Legacy Station?
It was raining in the city by the bay. The talking, but no, Iris does not talk like that.
I was gonna go with it.
Iris, our android friend here, is on Legacy Station today on official steward business. Their calm, collected demeanor as they scour the crowd for a particular individual shows a keen awareness that may not be perceivable by many. They kind of sit back and take it, everything around them, while kind of different scenarios are playing out in their mind, different possibilities, different ways things could go. I don't know how deep you want me to get in there, Nick.
I just wanted to know, well, what brought you here?
Official Starfinder business, or
You mean-
steward business, rather. Oh man, I've been playing Society for too long.
The other S. It's the second S organization. That's also a good goody two shoes
Indeed.
organization.
Much
The
more
less-
lawful, though.
Yeah. Hunting down a particular individual, I believe. sort of sifting through the crowd with his partner. Almost said partner in crime. Definitely not appropriate. Partner in anti-crime. Zid. His faithful pseudo partner. In the form of a security robot.
Nice. I think I realized what I did differently this time that made it not work the way I wanted it to. So real quick, let me send this.
Fixing stuff.
I'm fixing stuff. I know. I'm sorry. Let me send Iris.
Look, it's
to the
episode
token
0.
layer.
We've never done this before. Everyone has low expectations, or they should.
You shouldn't come here and expect things from us.
Yeah.
How dare
Now-
you? It's our house.
Now Iris should be lit up on
Yes.
yours.
Iris.
That is what I'm seeing.
I
Iris
was
is
using the wrong layer. Was my trouble. All right.
now. Start it all over. It was raining in the shitty by the no. Okay.
No.
So yeah. I don't know what more you
all
want
right.
from me.
Next we have Lasco. What brings Lasco to Legacy Station, the last stop on the way to anywhere?
Mr. Lucas Lasco is in Legacy Station on business. He needs to have words with a former associate to ensure that he continues to be a future associate, even though the context in which L21 Incorporation operates is changing drastically. Nick, I'm not sure if you want to say that the conversation has already happened or is going to happen in the course of the session.
It's gonna. We'll get to that.
Then yes, he and Ms. Adelaide Fortwith are probably in a ground car to meet with this contact at a warehouse by the pier. Space Pier.
The spear.
All right.
Space
Oh.
So with him is Adelaide.
Yes, Adelaide Fortwith. She's going to be making sure that everything occurs on schedule. She's with her current employer, Mr. Lasco, and will be emphasizing to his business associate the importance of staying within our mission statement, or else.
You guys want to give us a bit of that conversation in the car on your way to meet your old friend? I have a name for your old friend.
Oh, thank God.
Ooh,
I do have a name. William Teves. You've known this you've known this man for many years, and he's always been a pretty good contact for him. You know, he's not at the top of whatever organization he works with, but he's always been pretty close-lipped about who it is exactly that he works for. But he's always been reliable, and you've known him for a long time.
all right. And referring to my notes on Mr. Teves, what precisely has he been doing that we disapprove of?
Mr. Teves has continued to serve us in the way that he has been for many years, and all we need to do is ask him to reroute some of his existing shipments through other lanes that we do not control. He's a fairly amenable sort. I don't think there will be any problems.
No, there certainly won't.
Do you... If he chooses to go fully legitimate, as I will attempt to pressure him into, what sort of guarantees can we give him with regards to working with the stewards and the other Absalom Station officials?
Well, provided he read the dossier that I sent to his attaché, he should be able to entrust that local authorities will no longer raid his establishments, and he provided, of course, that he pays his taxes, or at least sets up the shell companies that I recommended.
He's unlikely to have the resources at his disposal to pay a large enough legal staff to maintain those shell companies. It's probably in our interests to offer him some of our services.
Shall I set him up with your financial advisor?
If he's interested in going that direction.
I shall pencil it in.
It looks like we're here.
Very good.
We'll let that scene fade to black for the moment. With Iris arriving here on Legacy Station is Sid. Seth, tell us a little bit about Sid and how he came to be in Iris's company, or they, it. Seth, you're mute.
I haven't said anything yet.
I just saw it and was watching your face, and you looked like you were about to say something. So I figured.
I was thinking because, well, Sid was manufactured in one of the Aspis Consortium's many facilities, and at some point was purchased by the stewards. And then, as Iris was assigned to, I guess what is Iris's mission? Because that's the thing I was unclear on. We changed this a couple times.
Iris didn't really go into this, but
oh, right. Well,
last mission was a rescue operation.
That's right, and that is what Sid was assigned to Iris's charge for, and has been essentially following Iris and Iris's orders for like the last probably month and a half or so.
Best. Well, I guess as a drone, you have like perfect memory, right? Until it gets full and you have to delete things.
Yeah. I mean,
there's probably a caching sequence where, like, a least recently used thing where you have several tiers of caches. The like bigger ones.
Nerd.
And, well, every day during part of the shutdown routine, the certain extraneous information is removed from the memory banks. Yeah.
Ghost would like us to know that drone is not a race. We do know that drone is not a.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I told Seth it was fine. This is
an AP. We're doing
GM Fiat.
homebrew. Yeah.
Yes. Campaign rules apply. All right, and last but certainly not least, token layer, Ogden Velheit. Another Velheit. Tom, what brings Ogden to Legacy Station?
Ogden's here on official Division 9 business. Division 9 being the the Veskarium military doesn't have a civilian like espionage agency or R&D kind of thing. So, those of you who know anything about the Veskarium know that it's run by the military. So the military needed an R&D program along with espionage and dealing with counter-espionage and stuff like that. Ogden happens to be a part of that organization. And he was sent here on a mission. So he's hitching a ride through Legacy Station, just waiting for his shuttle to get here.
Yes, in fact, Ogden is tracking down a stolen piece of military tech. And this is the last place that the thief went, that you had eyes, that Division 9 found that the thief had boarded a ship bound for Legacy Station. So this is the last place you know that the thief was. And you have as you connect to the local infosphere, your comm unit lights up with an encrypted message from your superiors at Division 9.
He taps his super cool wristwatch comm unit.
Yeah, it takes a long minute to run the decryption software and scan your biological signature to make sure it's really you before a message appears on your screen with the familiar face of your commanding officer. She says, "Ogden, I'm glad you made it safely to Legacy Station. After you departed, we found some more information on our thief. It appears she's tied to It appears her buyer there is going to meet her there on Legacy Station. We think the trade is going to go down at a club called the Neon Skin.
The Neon Skin.
Best of luck." And the transmission cuts out because drift travel,
Because it's
as we know,
yeah.
makes communications asynchronous.
So you said Neon Skin.
Neon Skin.
Interesting. Okay. Ogden raises an eyebrow at the name of the club and taps the computer and it goes dark.
Perfectly good sci-fi club name. I don't know what you're talking about.
I swear to God, you guys make fun of my naming conventions. Everything's gonna go back to being named Steve.
Space Steve.
Everyone will be named Steve.
Club Steve.
Club Steve.
Steve Club.
Neon Steve. I thought about naming the club Neon Steve, but I didn't.
All right, Steve. We've
Yeah,
arrived at Steve.
Steve.
Let's go to Steve and talk to Steve about Steve.
We gotta find the lost
Firing
Steve.
at Steve. Dodge it.
Activate the Steve.
I can't captain the scanners, all Steve.
This is the captain. This is.
We might have
Captain
to get one of those. We might have to get some kind of
USS
extension that lets the audience give me names. So it's named Steve.
Damn it, Steve! I'm a Steve, not a Steve.
I am still in Adventure Zone. Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, Adventure Zone did this when they so people would like I think every session like Griffin would look at all of the people who tweeted about the Adventure Zone and then like randomly select one of them as the name of all the NPCs in that session.
Okay.
It's a neat way to do
I
it.
was thinking a way for them to like submit names, sci-fi names to me, rather than
That's also
We
their
have the
names.
advantage of a live stream that Adventure Zone did not.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is true.
So
All they're gonna put
Ogden-
in apparently is Steve. Thanks, guys.
Hey, that's Space Steve-Oni. I think that's very different from Steve.
We'll take it.
So I guess Ogden looks up on his on the infosphere where this Neon Skin Club is.
Yeah. Legacy Station Yelp is very helpful in this. They are indeed listed. It appears to be a nightclub down by the docks. It's average reviews, but it's supposed to be pretty swanky. Bit trendy with the younger crowd, but also not the type of place you'd necessarily want to go alone.
Well,
If you're not a Division 9 student.
I was gonna say, don't have a
If
partner
you're-
on this one. So
Yeah.
yeah. Well then, Ogden will
What
make his way
kind
there.
of rinky-dink operation is Division 9 anyways? Don't even have your own personal security robots.
Yeah.
You don't have
Yeah.
a personal security robot?
Or a lawyer.
Or a lawyer.
lawyer.
They just send you out there by yourself.
I'm so lonely.
You're so lonely. So Ogden heads off in search of this nightclub. Meanwhile, somewhere probably nearby, in a mid-range hotel near the docks, Iris and Sid have stopped for something to eat before they find their connecting flight home. Man, I gotta put these notes in digital because they're everywhere, all over the place.
Just like me.
When Iris, much like Ogden, gets a ping, but his is local. It appears that Captain... I have a name for this captain. The captain of the local police force is pinging you.
Like a phone call? Oh god.
Like
Iris,
a phone call.
Iris taps their temple once, and little projector screen kind of, or that's not even necessary. Just the call pops on.
On the other end, your caller ID already identified Captain Vilash. Says, Iris, I heard you were in town. You busy?
I'm always busy, Captain.
Well, if you have some time between cases, we'd really appreciate your help. We've
Oh, this isn't a social call? Why haven't you already sent me the files? Come on.
I'll send you the files now. Of course, we're having some trouble with that. And well, it's looking like a serial killer.
Of course it is. All right. Well, where should I meet you?
Is there any other kind of killer?
Yes, there are lots of
serial killing.
Not according to crime shows, there isn't.
Jesus.
I bet it was
What
a
was that,
crime of
Captain?
passion, too.
The voices in my head were a little loud just then.
You can meet us at the crime scene. I'll forward you the information.
Best do that.
So he
Iris out, and without much more taps their temple again, and everything. The line disconnects. And turns and looks at Iris. All right, Iris. Well, I guess we better head on down to the docks.
Talks.
Iris
They talk
talking
to
to
themselves.
himself?
No. All right, Sid. Better head on down to the docks. These are new characters, folks. Who am I playing? What is reality? I don't know.
Been so long since I occupied a mortal body before.
Yeah, no. It's just weird. It's just weird. I don't.
I don't like the
Anyways,
feeling of all of this blood moving through my body all the time. Why doesn't it just stay still?
can't it just not? Anyways, all right, Sid. Better head on down to the docks. You know how these fleshies are. They can't seem to figure anything out without us.
Sid just cranes their head and says, I was already in follow mode, Iris.
Yes, I know, Sid. I appreciate you.
Your comm unit pings with an encrypted message from the police chief containing the files as well as the location of the crime scene he has pointed you to. Opening the files, you find details on a series of grisly murders that have taken place over the last 5 or 6 years. The most recent of which is down in the docks, the one they're currently investigating, and you find that they have no leads on who this might be. The crime scenes have been immaculately cleaned up, it appears, and they've only been able to find bits and pieces. Nothing led them to be able to find this person thus far, but the crimes are occurring more and more closely together, which is probably why the captain called you in knowing you were on station.
Now this is interesting. but Iris is only mildly like interested. It's not that big of a puzzle, I'm sure, or they're sure.
Sure.
As they finish up their soba and head out, they kind of make a reference of the station's logs. Can I go ahead and make a culture check just for some recall knowledge there, or?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and give me
cool.
a culture check.
All right. If I am recalling knowledge, I'm going to be activating two things: the library culture chip that I have, and the memory access feat from Com.
Ooh, what does the memory access feat do?
It gives you a +2 insight bonus to all recall knowledge checks and checks to identify creatures.
Nice.
It's pretty
And those
great.
and that's with library chips?
It does, because the insight bonus from memory access and the circumstance bonus from the library chip stack.
Very nice, very nice.
So here is my. It should also be mentioned, as long as this DC is below 20, I can make it, but I don't actually have it trained yet. So, computer, the library chip is what allows me to make this check untrained if it's below 20. I'm just going to assume it
reminds me of you starting the last series without any armor.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I can't have everything. I have 1,000 piddly credits to spend.
Most of us spend that on armor, though, buddy.
Hey, I've got my $95 station wear. I got my stab vest. I don't want to hear it.
Stab.
All right, roll me that culture check and let me know what you get.
I did. I rolled a 5 on the die, totaling out to 12.
12. All right. You, using your library chip and the local infosphere, you poke around a little bit, and you find a couple of news stories on these cases, but it appears the local news media hasn't taken much of an interest in them, hasn't connected them as serial murders, which is usually at the point at which the local papers, pick it up and run with it. So far, they've all been reported as just missing people. It looks like nobody's really poked into these much.
Got it. Noted for future reference.
Yeah, which is strange because usually, the local media would at least, looking at your case file. Yeah, you're a seasoned detective. I'm not going to make you roll anything for it. These are pretty grisly murder scenes that you're seeing in the case file, and it feels like if the media got wind of this, they would want to run with it, but no one.
They've been doing a good job of keeping tight-lipped, I guess, is what it sounds like.
Sounds like it. Meanwhile, Lasco and Fort Worth have arrived at the warehouse where they plan to meet Willem Viesk. I said Viesk, right?
You did.
Is he?
It was Teeves in my notes.
Teeves. Vilash is the captain of local security. Teeves is your friend.
Associate.
You've known him for many years.
Associate.
Not closely, as he's mostly based out here.
An amenable
you've known him for a good amount of time. An amenable associate. So you guys have pulled up to a warehouse in the port district somewhere, I assume, and it's a pretty standard looking warehouse. Your town car looks a little bit out of place in this neighborhood, but nothing appears amiss as you head inside through the front door into a small office. Unless you guys want to do otherwise.
No, we're good. I'm just trying to paint a scene in my head, and Lasco getting out of the. Oh, I guess Miss Fortworth could let Lasco out of the car.
Yeah, I was going to say that Adelaide gets out of the car and then holds the door for Mr. Lasco.
It's not raining, so he can't have an umbrella. But Lasco will adjust his tie and stride inside like he owns the place.
Inside, you enter pretty much an open warehouse space. It's not the kind of place that has an office. But there is a buzzer on the wall that says to ring for service.
I hit it for him, and watch the plate intently, waiting for someone to answer.
He doesn't like to be handed things.
After a few long minutes of waiting, a Kasatha appears, who's not your friend Willem at all. They're large and heavily armed, and they look a little bit probably upset that they have to deal with you as they stride across the warehouse floor. Geez. The boss forgot, I think, about your meeting today. Your
Mr.
Lasco, right?
Just so.
And who might you be?
Oh, me? I am a lieutenant without a name. Steve!
Steve,
I like
what's
Lieutenant
your...
without a name better. That's an interesting name.
And will you be taking us to Mr. Teves?
Sadly, the boss is indisposed at the moment. He'll have to meet with you tomorrow. In the meantime, I can set you up with a hotel on Mr. Teves.
What do you mean
Go
by
ahead.
indisposed?
Give me
And I'll also roll a sense motive, yeah.
Yeah, give me the sense motive first. One question at a time. What you got?
And this is actually with a +3. I don't know how to enter that in, but she has skill synergy.
So that's 17 and 14.
17 and 14.
No, actually, it's 20 because it's
20.
on top.
What?
Oh wait, no, sorry, I didn't see. I scrolled too high. Never mind. So it's a yes. It's a 15.
17, 15? And
No, I didn't scroll long enough. Okay, never mind.
14.
Okay. 17 and a 14. So he seemed disgruntled more than anything. Like he really doesn't want to have to be dealing with sort of long suffering. Like this isn't the first time this has happened, and he's a little bit annoyed about it. In answer to what do you mean indisposed, he says, well, I don't think the boss would be comfortable with me talking about it. But I'd be happy to put you up for the night and set up a new meeting tomorrow.
I'm very sorry, but we are on a very tight schedule, and we'll be departing first thing tomorrow morning. It's imperative that we meet with Mr. Teves immediately, within the next, as soon as possible.
And I assure you that I will take all the responsibility for bothering your boss.
Yeah, well, give me a diplomacy, you guys. He really doesn't want to tell you why you can't meet with his boss.
I'm afraid that's only an 11.
Bad rolls.
That's not
Bad
a good
rolls. Oh no.
Nobody's rolled higher than 10 so far.
Well, that's okay. I have an interesting way to take that too. Instead of succumbing to your requests, he gets visibly irritated, and he's like, "Hey, listen, there's nothing I can do other than make you a new appointment. If you don't want a new appointment, fine."
Lasco looks off to the side for a moment and says, "We'll take the new appointment. Thank you, Steve. You've been more than patient with us."
Like I said, I'm really sorry. There's nothing else I could do for you, but I got nothing. In the meantime, you can tell the bartender over at the Neon Skin that Steve sent you and give you drinks on the house, whatever you need. You can even use the boss's VIP room. He's not using it. And there's a nice hotel just a few streets down. I can get you a room there so that you don't have to find something yourselves.
Very well, sync me the details. And I take them down. But I am very put out.
Yeah. It is annoying. You've now missed your shuttle home and you're going to have to find a new.
Mr. Lasco takes this in stride.
Mr. Lasco doesn't have to deal with the scheduling.
Right?
Just so. They return to the car. I will send a message to what was the contact's name?
William Teeves? Willem Teeves?
Willem Teeves, informing him that we were declined at the door, and that this is
the warehouse. This is all one big warehouse.
Yes, at the entrance to the warehouse, and that this comes as a great surprise to me, given our amicable relationship so far. And ask whether this is indicative of how he would like our relationship to proceed. You can find us at the Neon Skin, as your agent Steve suggested.
I should have given that lieutenant a name. I had so much stuff about him, but no name anywhere.
Lol.
I'm not used to this prepping stuff for myself, guys. I'm just having a book with this stuff in.
The benefits of having just a list of names, just a list of random names by your computer.
Yep. I ordered Post-it notes, and this is one of the reasons I did, was to stick random names, but they won't be here till Monday. Darn quarantine, Amazon.
Curse you, Jeff Bezos!
Don't they realize that Post-it notes are essential? Essential.
They're essential.
Lasco will sigh, looking out the window, and say, "I suppose we can burn some time looking at this, going to this Neon Skin place. Maybe it's better than the name implies."
I highly doubt it. However, it should be a useful location to gather more reconnaissance.
Lasco will wave the car forward.
All right. And as they head off in the direction of Neon Skin, Ogden is just arriving there. It's well, as I said before, it's a nightclub. The neighborhood it's in isn't great, but the front is all bedecked with neon lights, and you can hear the thumping techno music from inside. It's still early enough in the day that there's not a huge line outside, but there are a few people waiting. It looks like this place is pretty happy.
Okay. So what time of day did you say it was? It's like
Well, it's probably early evening.
early evening. Okay. Yeah, Ogden will. His lip will sort of curl, looking at all the neon and whatnot, hearing the techno. And then he's going to head into the nightclub.
What? You mean Ogden isn't like a total club kid? Look at him.
Is Ogden carrying
buy it,
any visible weapons on his person
Not
other
visible.
than his claws?
He doesn't. Notably, he doesn't have claws. Not in the traditional Vesk sense. Yeah.
Ha!
They're
That
more
must
like
be
fingernails.
a mine thing.
He files them down because they get in the way of his glasswork. in the lab.
Yeah, it was really, really tough. I actually really like that explanation. But
Kept puncturing his
uh,
gloves.
Yeah. Little thing about Ogden. Instead of natural weapons, he has a prehensile tail. That is also a racial alternate feature out of Com.
Nice. So he can hold a gun in his tail.
Sure can.
Oh
Why would you
gosh.
suggest that, though? That's ridiculous. You would never do such a wild and crazy and fun thing.
Well, because my Merrick.
Of course not.
No. Gun in the tail leaves both hands free for casting.
Yeah.
Gotta have hands free for casting.
Yeah. Or
and holding a
gesticulating when
sword.
you talk.
We're
And
gesticulating.
holding a big sword.
Yeah. Mystics and swords, man.
Sword.
Sword
Yeah.
mystics.
1,000
Sword.
bad guys with swords.
Um,
Why was I thinking
Let
of that
me-
one too?
let me see, because you are carrying, just not obviously, right?
Yeah, it's like probably in a holster on his backside near his hip.
Let's give this guard like a straight D20 roll. What do you guys think that he needs to roll to notice the gun?
Oh, good
15.
question.
15?
So not a Coots bouncer though, clearly.
No, not well. He probably should be a Coots bouncer, but we won't make him one. Coots is like the popular nightclub in Anchorage, Alaska, friends, and it
If
is
you want to call it
a lot like this bar. A lot of fun, pretty cool, a little bit sketchy. Has great security because people keep bringing guns in. But like a 15, you guys think?
Sure.
Yeah, Coots.
Oh,
Coots got like a 20 plus 5 for perception.
well, and they have a metal detector.
I was gonna say the metal detector.
That
plus
certainly
that's
helps.
cheating.
That's cheating.
Takes all the fun out of it.
Yeah, so they don't notice the gun tucked into your belt, and they let you through. They're just looking for like obvious weapons, people who look like problems. Ogden doesn't look like somebody who's going to be much of a problem. He's shrimpy
he's
for
only
a
very
vest.
small. Yeah.
Very small vest. So they let him into the club. There's flashing light. It's dark inside. The music is pounding, and it's not quite packed yet because it's still early. But there are some people on the dance floor, and there's some people at the bar. Maybe a band setting up to play later in one corner. Give me a percept. So look
Oh, I'll give you a
around and see if you can spot your thief.
So I have a description of this thief.
You do. This thief is a tiny pink
Nice.
skittermander.
Oh, of course it is. Probably part of the hidden hand. That's a 22.
On a 22, you do, in fact, see this very helpful to everyone but you, Skittermander, sitting at the bar, looking around like they're waiting for someone.
All right. Ogden will just abruptly walk up to the bar, sit down next to them, and say, "Hello, my name is Ogden Bellhite. You have something I am looking for."
Give me how intimidating is Ogden? Or are you
he's not
trying
very-
to be diplomatic?
Not really sure. He's confrontational.
That doesn't
but he
sound
doesn't-
diplomatic.
No,
Definitely
it
not
sounds like
diplomatic.
you're
I'll give you-
scare him.
I'll roll you an intimidate check.
I mean, you're gonna have a bonus because you're obviously like Aveski, and you know he's holding the thing, and you just came right up and sat down next to him. But let's see what the dice say.
Ooh, that's a 16 with my charisma bonus of +2.
Yeah, her eyes go wide as you say that, and she tries to say, I don't know what you're talking about. What could I possibly have to you want?
He looks down at this Skittermander, trying to sort of see similar. So, what was the description of the thing? Would I notice this military tech?
You've seen footage of the Skittermander fleeing with it, but it's actually pretty small. It's a small mechanical device, probably yay big. It would fit easily in a backpack, which like everybody carries a backpack. It's Starfighter. Skittermander
Sure.
totally has a backpack. Probably sitting under their, hung from a little hook underneath the bar, is the Skittermander's backpack.
Okay.
And you know that if the Pact Worlds finds out about this device, it could start another war.
All right. With that knowledge, Ogden's not going to. He's not going to play around. So he keeps talking to her. You know.
But
you.
The other important thing that I might have forgotten earlier about this device, you know, the Skittermander's trying to sell it to someone specific. Like, they stole it for someone in the Pact World. So that's probably the, like, recovery, and if you can, finding out who that is are your big goals. Because somebody in the Pact World wants this technology, either to use it themselves, or to expose it and start a war.
With this in mind, Ogden probably would not have sat down directly next to them and blown his cover. However,
well, if you would like, if you would like to retcon blowing your cover right off the bat,
yeah, I would.
Because I meant to tell you that at the beginning, and it just occurred to me that I never did.
If you would allow it,
I will allow it. That's a critical
that's
piece
not
of
how it
information.
happened. Even if I'm not playing Witch Warper.
Let me try again.
That's how I would have liked to do it, but I couldn't.
Yes.
Because.
Yes. And then he dropped
I
the
needed to find out.
and then everyone clapped.
Yeah. So instead, Ogden spots the Skittermander. And instead of just plopping down, he takes a seat at, he tries to find a booth with a good spot, a good view rather, of the Skittermander, sitting at the bar. He makes sure that he can see her pack and stuff like that, hanging from the hook, like you said. But other than that, he's just gonna sit down, order a drink, and sip it slowly.
And sort of keep an eye on this Skittermander for the
Yeah,
time
for sure.
being.
Trying to roll sense motive, looking around the bar, seeing if anybody else is keeping an eye on the Skittermander, perhaps.
You don't see anyone else keeping an eye on the Skittermander, but the Skittermander is definitely like keeping an eye on everyone else in the bar. Give me a bluff roll to see if the Skittermander notices you watching, because the Skittermander is trying to watch for people watching that.
Cool
Ooh,
as
nice.
a cucumber.
Nice.
With a
Yeah,
24.
Ogden is sitting off in the corner. The Skittermander doesn't appear to notice you watching, but she is watching very intently for anyone who might be watching her, trying to find her buyer.
Excellent.
Meanwhile, actually, let me check our time, because this one isn't going to be as long as normal, I think. But I think we have time to do another bounce back to Iris. Leaf, I know that feeling. I am also hyper aware, and I do this all the time, which now everyone can see. We're all fidgeters.
Mostly just stroke my beard and then lean this way and then lean this way.
It's very.
Yeah, I do the.
That's
I'm acutely aware of
Shiny
how
the
itchy
supermodel
I am.
over here.
My nose and stuff.
yeah. Being on camera is weird, folks, especially when you can see it.
I'm trying to be as still as possible.
You're doing a very good job of it.
You are the best of us, Seth.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
am
best
physically
game.
incapable of sitting still, as been apparent. But that's neither here nor there.
So, Lasco and Fortwith are on their way to the bar. Ogden has arrived and is stalking his quarry very coolly. Like, he is being
And definitely
very
didn't
secretive.
blow
So
his cover in an alternate
so
reality.
cool.
In an
No,
alternate
that
reality, he
is
did blow
lame.
his cover. But it was just a narrative device, friends. If this was a movie, it would be like, I wanted to go sit down next to him and just snatch the backpack, but I
Yeah.
couldn't
It's
do
like
that
that-
because I needed
It's like
to
that
know.
movie neck.
I had to know who my quarry was. This Skittermander was small potatoes. Are we all in a noir then? Is that what this is?
I sure hope so.
The whole AP is a noir, yeah.
I mean, I'm a femme fatale, so
Yeah.
Nick has a noir problem, but I didn't want to make it too noir because we have Sprouts in the new House and Crit. So I didn't want to step on Sprouts' toes by getting too noir. But it's
Listen, that just means Sprouts can come on and hang out with us sometime.
Yeah,
We're gonna
Sprouts is in the wrong AP.
Sprouts
Yeah.
is in the wrong AP. Sprouts should be in this AP. It's too bad we can't get a donation going for that. Make Sprouts switch games.
That's going to
Look,
be several.
you're not gonna
$1,000.
make Miles switch games. Trust me.
No, but he would be so great in this game. Sprouts would.
So several $1,000 and the blood of your favorite celebrity. There you go.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves?
Just for the record, I am not
How do I
calling
do
for
it? He's very
anyone.
kind.
Just harvest
Yeah,
their
you just
blood.
have to ask.
Just ask.
Just harvest their blood. That's
Keanu,
all.
I need some of your blood for a spell to make a
Like,
different
oh, yeah.
celebrity do the thing I want to do.
He opens his blazer and he has like a kit to extract blood already. Like he's prepared.
Yeah, I can ask this all the time.
Like as easy as an autograph.
He's got a process going that's got like the extraction of blood, but like also the input of new plasma and stuff, so he can like keep
Yeah, you're
functioning like a
overcomplicating
normal.
this.
Anyway,
He just has a bunch of vials of his own blood to hand out to fans as needed.
There you go.
All right. This has gotten too gross. I think I might have to put a channel reward that's too and make it cost nothing. Nothing. Anybody
I
can use
think
it anytime.
that's an emote. But then people
Yeah.
have to subscribe for that.
Yeah. I gotta figure out what we want to do with those emotes, but that's a different thing entirely. So meanwhile, Iris and Sid arrive at the crime scene. It's a dingy alleyway that's all taped, and Captain Vilash is waiting for you at the tape. He lifts the tape to let you through and says, "Iris, I'm glad you can make it."
now hold on. Before we do this, curious, what have I been able to glean from these files that the captain has sent?
Oh yes, the early murders they've been able to connect were like very well cleaned, immaculate. They found no evidence of who might have done it. And so there wasn't there's not a lot to find, but it appears that they've been getting bolder, or their cleanup's getting worse as time goes on, especially in this most recent case. It seems that they're getting sloppy and closer together.
Okay. Good to know. So fast back forward. Approaches the crime scene. Guy lets me into the tape.
Yep.
What were they
Vilash
saying?
lifts the tape. I'm glad you could come, Iris.
Of course. Anything to help assist the local law enforcement.
Well,
No.
This one is giving us a lot of trouble.
Of course. Show me what you got.
Sure, right this way. He leads you to the scene itself.
All right.
The body hasn't been moved yet or touched in any way. You can. I know who did this, but I sort of left the crime scene open
I would hope so.
for your lovely narrative mind to do your grand detective.
Wonderful. This makes me so happy.
So whatever you want to narrate finding for us, I will weave it as necessary.
Great. All right. Well, Iris is going to go ahead and right off the bat, like as they're being let in under the tape, they've already got out their scanning kit and they're scanning various different things. So they're making some pretty close perception checks, trying to determine exactly what's going on here. See if there's anything that the local law enforcement has missed. Would you like an actual perception check?
Yeah,
shall I
let's
just...
see how good it is.
Indeed.
And then you can tell me how cool the thing you find.
Yeah. That's a 25 with that +4, folks. So,
Oh wow, yeah, you can notice
Um,
something really
Iris.
minute that the detectives in there.
Yeah, Iris, looking down really close at the ground, notices kind of like, not unlike the visual wavelengths. That would be too easy. No, like on the like infrared, there's still like a bit of a well, it's a heat signature left behind, and they kind of zoom in on it and kind of observe it through different wavelengths and like kind of use their scanner to suss it out, and they're able to determine that it's in fact a footprint left behind by none other than the killer, obviously. He says,
he
"See
point-
here, look here. You can tell just by attenuating the visual matrix of this that you can see the imprint of a soul not 2 hours ago."
You heard it here
This is-
first.
My
Iris
goodness.
can see your soul.
Yes.
Yes,
Your-
Iris.
Only if it's
Your
attenuated,
literal
though.
soul.
only if the visual matrix is attenuated. But yes, see, you can even hear. Watch, and Iris does one more flip of the switch there, and it shows an actual like image of what the bottom of the shoe or armor would have looked like, and it gives an exact shoe print. And Iris kind of brings it up out of like the thing, kind of like in a hologram format, kind of like, and kind of like looks at it in 3D and says, "Yes, we're looking for a culprit, a rather small culprit, it would seem. Not diminutive in size, but definitely small. Let's see here.
And
Unless
it turns
not,
out,
Yeah, and what else do I know about it?
and it turns out that make of armor is pretty rare. It's incredibly distinctive. There's probably not many places on the station that sell that brand.
Yes, quite rare. Not many people on this station would own this. Let's see. And they pull up. It's not like something that is visually seen because, Iris has a computer in their brain. Thank you. What was that? That's Infosphere integration. It's an alternate racial feat from COM. Basically, there's a COM unit in their head that I have spent the credits to upgrade into a tier 1 computer. So they're pulling up like a directory and looking for possible station locations that would sell this type of armor.
Yeah, give me a culture check.
Of course. This is recall knowledge, I'm sure.
Yes, this is but you're using the infosphere, so this is how well you use space yacht.
Yeah, got it. That's a 15 if my bonuses apply.
Yes, your bonuses apply. It is still actually no, it would be a recall if you're rolling. You don't know off the top of your head, but you do have a data chip and access to the infosphere, so you could take 20.
Yeah, I was gonna say I will. If it's not apparent, Iris is gonna divert more attention and scan through the data chip to or the library chip section specific to this station to figure out where exactly to look. Taking a little more time than they prefer to, and this warrants a frustrated grumbling, of course.
As he digs through all the information on the local infosphere, trying to find a place that sells this exact brand of armor.
Mm-hmm.
What is Sid doing while Iris is being, crime procedural detective with his sunglasses at
Hey,
night?
Sherlock Holmes.
It looks like the killer.
Completely stationary in a corner.
Seth, you're muted.
Right, I'm sorry. This is an alleyway, right?
Yes.
So I mean, I imagine that the protocol is that Sid isn't allowed to go past the tape. So probably standing at the alleyway entrance, just kind of
standing at the tape line,
with
guarding it.
with shield out, just kind of head swiveling left and right, just monitoring.
No, I got something for this. Sorry. As Iris and Sid approach the tape, Iris turns to Sid and says, "Sid, crowd control mode."
Acknowledged.
All right.
And he has a cool, like, Cylon red laser that sweeps the entrance.
No, it's blue.
Ah, you're killing him. Fine.
He's
Blue
not a
is the good guy.
Cylon.
Blue 'cause
Red
he's a
is
good
the
guy, you're
bad
right.
color. Blue is
Yeah.
always the good color.
Uh-huh.
Unless you're
sorry.
Kit
You're not-
from Knight Rider.
Yeah, exactly. And also you're giving away our plot twist. Yep, that's it. That's folks. You know, we're all Cylons. There you
Yep. Sorry.
Everyone's
it's over
a toaster.
now. The
Everyone
mystery
has
has been ruined.
That's all three folds, ladies and gentlemen. All three folds of the conspiracy.
all three folds were
You found
Cylons.
him.
All Cylons all the time.
Oops, all Cylons.
So a couple minutes later, after much grumbling, you find a local shop that sells this brand of armor. And they have a phone number listed. They have a website where you could order some of that armor. An address. Go visit them.
Yeah. All that Iris would do would inquire as to the hours of operation, which I'm sure is very easily found, and as long as it's still open, is gonna head straight there.
You do indeed have it on Space Yelp. So you can see that this particular armor shop is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And as they pull that up and put their scanning equipment away, they turn and say, "All right, well, I best go explore this lead by myself. Don't need to give too much away." And Iris will go ahead and actually activate their impersonation matrix, and with kind of like the wave of a hand, their steward's coat and jacket kind of like just turn all black and kind of basically incognito mode. You know.
Just a civilian now.
Yep, just a civilian.
Not saving your browser history anymore.
Yeah, not saving my browser.
Incognito mode.
We're calling it that. That's what it is. It's incognito mode. Iris is,
I like it.
Iris is only 12 after all.
I personally liked impersonatrix.
Impersonation matrix. It's the impersonatrix. It's a portmanteau. It's our favorite thing.
I'm an impersonatrix. It's a pretty well paying job. But you know, you got to deal with all kinds of folks.
You meet all sorts of guys.
You meet all sorts.
Sheriff says it's an Astrozoan dominatrix, obviously.
Oh no!
That was actually the job that Harald eventually got into.
That's not how Harold got his start. Oh,
I was thinking.
That's a good job for an Astrozoan who doesn't want to lie.
It's true. It's true. I can be your anything. Or rather, I can be your anything.
All right. We're done with that joke.
No, thank you.
Good
Awful.
joke, but we're done with that. We're done with that. So I take it you and Sid head off to that gun shop, right?
Yes.
We incognito.
Yes, in incognito mode. Goodness.
What do you do
Sid,
about your
is there any...
8-foot tall security drone?
Yeah, Sid, is there any way to change your appearance?
That is not a feature that the stewards paid for.
No, of course not. Stewards don't ever spring for the high end models. No. All right. Then in that case, we will use Iris's disguise kit, utilizing. Their hats do come in the disguise kit, but that seems a little unnecessary. We're just going to use the black shoe polish in the kit to turn all of his armor black. So that effectively just gives you the bonus of using the disguise kit there.
Just don't rub up against anything.
Yeah, just don't touch
So
anything.
much. That's so much paint. That is so much
You
paint.
could.
It's space paint. It's reusable. They're like
True.
little nano bots or whatever that spread
It's
out
like
and cover you, and then can like
It's
come
the
back.
Futurama all-purpose spray.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was gonna say, if you want to just like cover his emblems and such, it would be pretty easy. You're going to an armor shop to convince them to just come off, you know.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just checking to see if they got any upgrades for my city unit.
Yeah.
You got them at an auction. You know, they were getting rid of.
There we go. Perfect. It was a steward asset liquidation auction.
Yeah,
Am I
like
supposed to roll?
buying old police cars when they're done
Yeah.
with them.
Exactly.
Got him from an yeah. Perfect. All right.
Am I
That's
supposed to roll a disguise check or?
No, Leaf should roll a disguise
Oh.
check to disguise you.
I was gonna say I'll go ahead and do that. Let's see. And disguise kit just lets me do that. It doesn't actually give me a bonus.
I think it takes
prevents
away
negative.
the negative, yeah.
Yeah. So here's this. Haha, 21.
That's a pretty good disguise. He doesn't
the
look so
heck-
much like a
Yeah.
steward's robot anymore.
Great. And
What is it? What? Okay, got it.
so we're gonna and we'll head to the place. We still need to head there unless you're just gonna hand wave that we've gotten there.
Well, we're gonna cut scenes that you guys heading that direction. They take off nicely disguised and ready to blend in with the crowd. Meanwhile, Lasco and Forthwith are arriving at the Neon Skin. They pull up in front in their town car in front of the same bar that I described to Ogden with the flashing neon lights and thump 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 techno music. But you do have free drinks for the night.
Yeah.
The line's gotten a little bit longer.
We
In fact,
pull up
it
straight
looks
to
like
the door.
yeah,
and,
it looks
like-
like you probably don't want to wait in that line. It's got probably 20 people.
We don't
in
wait
it
in
now.
lines.
No,
We don't wait in lines.
we use the valet service, and go to the door and show whatever document or what was the name?
Steve.
No. Well, Steve was the.
Well,
Willem Teeves.
Willem Teeves is
I-
your friend, but Steve is the one who told you to use his name, and they would.
Oh, Steve.
He said Steve said he'd make sure you got free drinks. For the,
Sure.
And the VIP.
So we'll walk up to the bouncer and say we were sent by Steve on behalf of Teeve. Ooh, that rhymes. That doesn't. I don't like the sound of
Teeves.
that. Teeves. Oh, thank God. That's way better.
He was Steve in reverse this whole time.
Oh no!
You're a
Nick.
monster.
Nick, you're better than this.
Yep.
I'm not. Cat.
There's a
Which
cat.
distracted you from how horrible I am. Okay.
Teeves sent by Steve.
Name.
Sir Lucas Lasco.
He checks his list and lifts the velvet rope for you to go past.
Damn straight he
into the
does.
club. Yeah, he does. You guys are very important people. Because
Before
the
we
VIP
get
room is all the way in the back.
awesome. Before we, okay, we'll go into the VIP room, and once I make sure that Mr. Lasco is settled, that he's gotten a drink, I will cast Charming Veneer and get a +1 circumstance bonus to charisma checks. And we'll be able to attempt a diplomacy check to gather information in only 10 minutes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice. Ogden, you do notice these two walk in and go straight to the VIP room.
We're not really hiding ourselves in any way.
They're not really hiding themselves in any way.
That's not what we
Um,
do.
You can
No?
decide
Yeah.
how sketchy they look to you if you want to interact with that at all.
No, I think Ogden registers them coming in, and then goes back to keeping an eye on the Skitter. Alternatively, Skittermander, the entrance.
Yeah, the Skittermander does seem to take notice of them and like sit up straighter for a second, like he thinks maybe someone's gonna ask her to come back to the VIP room as well. And now her attention sort of shifting between the VIP room and the bartender and the front.
Ah. Interesting.
Yes. Meanwhile, the VIP room is nicely appointed. There's big plush couches and a holovid display. It looks like this is a place where meetings happen pretty frequently. Shortly after you arrive there, a bartender appears, offers you a selection of drinks, whatever you'd like. It's on the house.
Mr. Lasco will order the most expensive whiskey that they have and put it on the company tab. And maybe do some company business on his phone. He certainly didn't. He's a bit frustrated that he's not able to use this time efficiently because he didn't plan to have to. But
this is the future. You could hook up to that holographic display. It's like a projector. It's like a monitor, But in the future, so you could throw your work up on it if you wanted.
Sure. He's probably a bit wary of throwing his business up on a large hologram that people could easily peek at. So he probably continues to use his phone, which he knows is secured, and let Ms. Fortwith go about her job.
All right. So, Adelaide, you're going to do a gather information.
Yes.
Going and talking to people in the bar. All right, give me a diplomacy check.
All right. Fingers crossed it's not a natural toot or something stupid.
Put a number.
Certainly not a natural toot.
What you got?
That's 23.
23. That's pretty good. Tell me about what this 23 looks like.
So
I think you got a pretty good idea of where this mystery is going. I'll let you have some free reign here, and then I'll fill in any some extra details for you.
So she strides alongside the server who's heading back to the bar and asks them questions about how long they've been working there and do you know the proprietor, and almost as if in this way that's like you might assume that she's running a check, like that she's here from corporate, that kind of thing. Like if she needed a clipboard, she would have one. And so that's the sort of thing. And then once the server goes to the bar, she stays there. She talks to the bartender, who possibly tells her to speak with the manager, and she speaks with the manager in his office and just sort of gathers information about who runs this club, what his connection to Mr. Teeves is, and has anybody heard from him lately? And presumably Teeves comes here on occasion.
You find out that Teeves is in fact the owner of the bar. This is the primary place that he hangs out most of the time when he's doing business locally. This is where he usually does it. No one's seen him in a couple of days, which is strange. He's usually here every day. But it happens from time to time. Every couple of months, he, just sort of falls off the face of the map for a while. It doesn't bother the bartenders too much, but they know that Steven, the Kasatha, who helps him run the shipping business, often comes in looking for him during those times, and he seems pretty pissed off about it.
Interesting. And so
it seems like this is probably common occurrence that you guys haven't really been party to, being from Absalom Station where there's already a delay in communication. It hasn't affected you guys as much, being contacts who usually.
Does anyone
talk
know where
remotely.
he usually goes when he disappears off?
No, nobody knows where he goes when he disappears. There's all kinds of rumors that he has like a secret family stashed somewhere, or that he's murdering people. That
That one.
He's secretly a prostitute. Like everybody's got a crazy sounding.
Murdering. Now,
You guys have no
Yes.
reason to think he's a murderer. You guys don't know going on with Iris.
No, it's more along the lines of like, Adelaide is very upset to hear that that it would even be joked about that one of her associates is a murderer, because that's very bad for business. And she asks a couple of questions about like, what is the murder rate around here? Like, is that common? Is that a problem that people usually have to worry about? Like,
Yeah, Legacy Station's not the safest place. I mean, it sort of happens when you're the last stop on the way to any, especially, down here by the dock. You get into the upper levels and it dies down a little bit, but yeah, this station really isn't the safest place to be. There's a reason most people carry protection, and our security only stops the ones that look like problems.
I see. And has there been any problems lately?
Oh, same as usual. Every once in a while we get somebody rowdy. Every once in a blue moon, somebody will pull a gun and shoot anybody. But we've got a pretty good med kit in the back, and there's a doctor next door. We help keep him in business,
Interesting. Well, if you don't mind, I think I'll sit here, and if I could... A soft seltzer. I am.
Sure. Coming right up. Ogden, with your curious eyes watching the bar as they are, I'm sure you notice Adelaide.
She's kind of hard to miss.
She's not hard to miss, and she's not trying not to be noticed. So I'm sure you notice her asking the bartender all kinds of questions. The murder rate and the owner of the bar, and things like that. Which might not be of immediate interest, but it probably catches your attention.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Ogden is definitely watching with interest as she goes back and forth.
Yeah,
and you're why she's talking up all the staff.
And actually, the other thing you notice is that the Skittermander you are watching is listening very intently to her conversation. Adelaide, give me a percept. See if you notice that too. It's going to be a little bit harder because you're not actively watching that Skittermander. You're busy with your own thing, but you might notice.
Can Lasco also get a perception as he
is in the other room?
I assume that the VIP lounge has a view on the rest of the room in a way such that they don't have a view on the VIP lounge.
No, it has a door.
Oh, I guess I thought is that how clubs work? I thought it was like a one-directional thing.
There's different kinds.
It depends on the club.
How do you lord over the plebs?
But sure, as a narrative device, we'll give it like a one-way aluminum window, so you can look out over. So the VIP lounge has a great big plush sofa, and it has 2 or 3 steps up as you come in, and then there is a floor-to-ceiling aluminum window looking out over the rest of the club that cuts down on the noise, but you can see the plebs who cannot see you through this giant window that gives you a great view of the club. So yes, you can make a perception.
Adelaide gets a 21.
Adelaide gets a 21.
Lucas gets a 19.
Yeah, you both notice the Skittermander there, but probably don't take too much notice. Adelaide, you're close enough and your roll's a little bit higher, so you might notice them bristle a little and start paying closer attention to what you're saying when you start asking about Teeves. Ogden, you definitely notice it because you're like on that Skittermander. That is all your attention.
Like white on rice.
Like white on rice. When Adelaide starts asking about Teeves, that Skittermander starts pretty obviously eavesdropping on her conversation.
Would you say she's Teeves dropping?
Teeves dropping?
And
And
the low-hanging fruit?
and when the bartender says that Teeves is missing, the Skittermander slams back the rest of their drink, grabs their backpack, and makes for the door. And
do I notice that?
As they do, you do note that. It's a little bit strange. Yes, you can all three note this.
Sense motive?
Yes, you can sense motive.
Was dismayed that Teeves is not there.
Yeah.
That's a 15.
I mean, I will also roll. But I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that this Skittermander was probably looking for Teeves themselves. Is the obvious conclusion. Anybody get particularly high on that sense motive?
Got a 17. That's the highest.
Yeah. So that's really all you get. They were probably here waiting for Teeves. They do look pretty nervous as they head for the door. And the music stops and says, "To be continued after the break."
Ah!
Ah!
Oh, I got it.
I got you. All right. Take a 15-minute break. It's 10:37 here now. So let's round that up and say at 5 till the hour, we will be back to finish out this adventure and get these guys the rest of the way to starting the Threefold Conspiracy. I hope you all have enjoyed it so far. I'm getting the feeling that my missed a little, but I think it's good anyway.
Yeah, you cut out a little bit.
Oh, I said I'm getting the feeling my mystery is a little bit, but hopefully you guys are enjoying it.
The same exact
part.
spot.
Why is this my life? I said I'm getting the feeling that my mystery is a little bit obvious. But luckily for the rest of the mystery, I have help from writers at Paizo. So
the mystery doesn't have to be thick as pea soup, really. Like this is your device for getting us all together. It doesn't have to be.
It's
and I didn't want to make it too complicated because it's not a mystery that's going to stick around.
It's just a little bit of mystery as a snack.
It's a procedural mystery.
It's an appetizer.
Yes. So yeah, we'll be back shortly. Oh, Judy loves my hair. Thanks, Judy.
You still need to give me a sign off, Nick.
I do. And we'll be back. So we'll be back at 5 till the hour. Until then, catchy catchphrase. I don't know. Take care. Don't get lost finding the bag. Yes.
Good enough.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone found the bathroom all right, and made it back okay. Tom, how was the trip?
It's pretty far, but I made it back. I survived.
Oh, good. It didn't move too far on you this week.
No, bizarrely, it was in the same exact spot. Just the admittedly still big issue was the toilet was on the ceiling this time.
How rude!
Tell us how you solved this problem.
I imagine that's why it took so long to find this time, though, is because it was in the same spot, and that's the last place you look. Huh?
I'll never share my secrets. Sorry, I was waiting for a dirt bike to go by on the road. He's so cool. That dirt bike riding guy.
Good news. The donations are up past $5,000 for Doctors Without Borders.
Woo!
Get those doctors some borders.
Yeah, big shout out to everybody who has donated and played and contributed their time this weekend. This wouldn't be possible without all of you. You guys are the real MVPs.
We're so proud of you.
Also, all the
We're so proud of you.
the boons that have been donated that people are trying to get.
Oh yeah, there's some cool ones. If you have not put your name in the hat for a boon, go check them out. They're all listed on Cosmic Crit Discord somewhere.
It looks like Douglas Edwards is actually the one who claimed, I guess, first blood on 5,000. Their donation was for 5 Manticore entries. What is a Manticore?
The Manticore is
it has to be a Pathfinder thing.
Yep. No, it's a unique ship actually that you can pilot in. So like you have this
What is
boon,
its
you
speed?
attach it to a character.
What is its speed? What is the speed of the Manticore?
Probably too slow for you, my friend. I think it might be a 6 or an 8.
Okay. Carry on.
Uh-huh.
Next question. Is there a boon for playing many bugs?
A Spothane?
I
many
don't think
bugs.
there's.
No.
God,
we
I
haven't-
hope not.
Millionaires.
We don't have an AA3 boon yet.
All right, move on.
Except the Brenary.
Because how could you not have the Brenary, right?
No,
they're
no,
adorable.
we're gonna get little space otters in there.
Everyone loves the space otters. It's true.
Holding paws,
If only they
Especially
didn't start
space
with
otters, am I right, folks?
washing their
If only
little.
they didn't start with the -2 to intelligence. I've increasingly had a problem with playing races that start with a -2, which is a problem because it directly conflicts with my love of the Vesk.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta find a race you like that has intelligence, Tom.
I mean, there are some Vesk that actually start with +2 to intelligence now.
Now, yes.
Wild
I
times
think-
we live in.
Yeah.
Craziness. Absolute craziness.
Dogs living together.
Ah!
Intelligent Vesk. Half-orcs that don't just want to kill things all the time.
What is this noise? Where is the logic in the world? There is none. All right, are you guys ready to hop back in?
Very
I was
excited.
born ready.
Yes.
We're born ready.
I want
All
to
right,
My
we-
parents were very confused.
you just emerged and said, "I am ready to continue this mystery, mother."
Why do I hear boss music?
Where is that boss music coming from? Is it coming from the baby?
Baby has a very serious look on its face.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Oh geez. All
can't
right, we
do
left
football.
off. We left off with most of you in this bar having noticed a skittermander leaving the bar rather quickly when it was mentioned that William Teeves, William Teeves.
Willow.
Yes, I named him Willem because it makes me smile. That William Teeves was not around, and no one had seen him in a couple of days. She left rather quickly. The Skittermander did, taking their backpack with them. But meanwhile, Iris and Sid have arrived at this armor shop, again in the port district of Legacy Station. I just noticed
Indeed.
Leaf come back to his chair and
I was ADD
been here
fidgeting. Just don't
the
mind me.
entire time.
I've been here. I have heard everything. I was going to say, I say, Willie, what are you doing here? But I was off camera and I didn't want to freak anyone out.
One character.
Sorry, I had an old British man selected for my vocal modulator. Sorry. This thing goes on the fritz every now and again. I don't have total complete control over it.
Has tracked down the armor shop where this rather distinctive armor came from. And overall, it's a pretty nondescript shop. You know, they've got a sign out front and a buzzing neon open sign in the window.
Just looks like the place. Come on, Sid. And they head on inside. Iris makes sure that everything looks proper on Sid's disguise before they head in, but I don't think you need me to roll again.
No.
Alright, cool.
Your
Then, yeah, we're
previous
heading on in.
disguise check is plenty. Inside, the walls are covered with various suits of armor. There are weapons on display behind the counter, and the proprietor looks up as you walk in. Howdy.
Hello. I'm here to. Oh, sorry. I actually need to think of first. Just 1 second here. Do I want to go about this direct? Yeah. No, we're gonna do some information gathering. So yeah, I'm here to have my robot here refit. I was wondering what kind of armor plating you might have for robots.
Yeah, that one's a Sid, right? We got a couple of options for those. Let me see what I got here. And he pulls out like a catalog on a tablet.
Great. I should probably explain where I'm going with this for you, God. Well, while we're doing this, while talking about this and kind of using it as a distraction, Iris is going to try and scan the area for signs of this mystery murderer, if that's at all possible. Do I not have enough to go on yet? It occurs to me now.
I mean,
only
you
really
know that the armor. This is the only place that armor could have been bought. But you also don't know how long ago it's been or anything like that. So
I think I have a line of inquiry then. Yeah. So he was showing me some plates.
Yeah. Well, you know, we've got this one here. It's pretty good against energy types. You know, fire, sonic.
All right. I've seen all of these at the other shops though. What do you have anything like fancy or like, you know, under the table, hush hush, sort of like new tech or anything like that? What about rare armored stuff?
Oh, you want to see the special stuff? Yeah, we do have a couple of things from sort of off the wall manufacturers. Anything in particular you were looking for? Any brand or?
And yeah, Iris will actually bring up the armor make and model that we have not mentioned that is super secret and special.
Yes, those are pretty hard to come by. You're lucky you came here. We're the only shop in town that carries that brand. Let me see if we got any armor plating upgrades for your drone. He starts flipping through. Yeah, we do have this one here. It could be modified for your drone. And he pulls up in fact, the armor that you were looking for.
Fantastic. And it's all above board, right? This is all strictly legal.
Oh, well, of course. No, we don't sell anything illegal here.
Good. No, of course. And I trust you keep good records of previous sales.
Oh, yes, of course we do.
Wonderful. I shall need to see them. Iris, at this point, will flip out their steward's badge.
Oh. You didn't. All right. Sure. Just 1 sec. And he pulls he flips the tablet back to the home screen and types in a code to access the private records. And you're looking for anybody who bought that armor specifically?
Yes, on this station.
On this station. Well, we've got a couple of people who bought those recently. Here you go. And he gives you the name. You can run those names through the security records. The first couple of names aren't on station anymore. They've left. Local station security, keeps track of who leaves on what ship and that kind of thing.
Right.
And you find records of two of them having left the station. Another one appears to be dead. And the one remaining name
That's common around here, I guess.
is Willem Teeves.
Well, seems I have only one real avenue of investigation on this station. Iris will go ahead and send out the not necessarily an APB, but like descriptions of the other two who have left station for other steward officers to interrogate,
All right.
as it were. But Iris will go, and of course, before any of this, really just upon receiving the list, say, turn to the shopkeep and say, thank you, and have that set of plates sent to this address. Charge the stewards. Thank you. And he'll turn and leave.
All right. Let's where are you headed next?
Well, first we're just going to head right out into the street and we'll do the cross-reference there of that information. But realizing that there's really only one contact on station currently that's, well, not in the morgue, we're going to go ahead and try and figure out what we can about Willem Teeves with a I don't know.
Culture to find out about people, or you could diplomacy to ask around. Use some of your contact. It does
We're gonna
take
culture.
1d4 hours.
We're gonna culture if that's allowed.
What kind of recall you got there?
Holy cow! Yeah. No, we're pulling up previous records on this Willem Teeves steward file. Any police or law enforcement records they have. Trying to see if there's a steward dossier on them. Any and all information that's currently contained within the law enforcement database.
Yeah, what'd you get?
That's a 26.
A
Rolled a
26.
19, folks. That's a 19 on the die.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah,
well, looking
cultured.
through the records, you do find a few references to Willem Teeves. It appears that he's tied to an Actonian crime family, on Acton, obviously, and they've never been able to pin anything on him specifically. He's been on Legacy Station for a number of years and suspected of a number of smuggling crimes, but never anything, never any murders. He's never been suspected of a murder, although there have been a few altercations at his bar, the Neon Skin.
Mm-hmm. Getting
He's always
yourself
gotten away
into more,
scot-free.
getting yourself into more and more trouble, I see, Willem. Well, this might be the end. And they head off to the
Do they see
Neon
the
Skin.
connection with L21 Inc.?
With
Good
a
question.
26.
With the 26.
I'll leave that up to you, Simon.
Sure.
What do you think?
Yeah.
there
Like,
are any
the
references?
context might be that. So he doesn't know too much about L21 Inc. Although I guess he could do more research on them if it piques his interest. But he.
Yeah.
Oh, in fact, it could be even recent, right? Like it could be like you're looking for any recent ships that have logged business with what's his face?
Ooh, yeah.
Teeves.
No, that's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
And then it
looking,
flags-
so we've got the
yeah.
we've got basic the background on them, and then we're looking for current schedule or like meetings that are accessible through steward means. And yes, I'm sure L21 L21 will pop up. Not much like interest in L21 themselves, but it's so noted that they're working with this known disreputable organization.
Known associates. We are known associates.
Disreputable is a frankly
Is it-
slanderous way to reference my business, but yes.
Is it
No,
not disreputable? Has it not
Thieves is
been considered?
It's-
No, I'm talking about L21.
If you dig into it, you can find out that L21 Incorporated is actually a recent entity just in the last few years. And
Oh, I see. Okay.
has been working closely with the stewards to sort of clean up their operations, as it used to be the Level 21 gang from Level 21 of Absalom Station.
Okay, so and Iris is aware of these things. This is like not, I guess, but more to the point, knowledge amongst stewards.
If you look for
L21.
it.
Yeah. Okay. Not super looking for it. Iris probably doesn't that off the top of their head either. So yeah, just noted that there's some contacts with some folks from L21 amongst other things. There's also a meeting with some strange being named Hassan Jarat. That is probably, it's about like it's about a holovid deal. But that is also doesn't seem to strike Iris as too important.
Okay.
So what's Iris's course of action going to be?
Sorry, I thought I mentioned they are loading back into the space taxi, or the spaxi, if you will, and heading to
I will not.
the neon skin.
The neon skin.
And
Meanwhile,
as they go, Iris will make his skin neon. No, they will not be doing that.
Aw. But then you look like a club kid. You'd fit right in.
Yeah, in fact, it's Iris who's the club kid. That's right, I forgot.
Yeah, no, there we go. Iris uses their impersonation matrix to make their circuits glow more and like change colors in a wave, like a rainbow wave going across their face.
Oh, like my computer.
He likes
Yes,
that
I definitely
computer.
drawing inspiration from my keyboard just there.
All right. Well, in that case, we'll bounce back over to the neon skin, where our other three protagonists noticed a pink Skittermander making for the door.
Ogden will leave some credits on the table and make his way for the door, trying to follow the Skittermander. He's not particularly stealthy, but he's trying not to make a big deal about his leaving.
He's trying to be nonchalant. Give me a bluff.
Yeah,
Be nonchalant.
a nonchalant check. 16.
16. That's decently nonchalant. The Skittermander doesn't appear to be paying a whole lot of attention to you. She makes her way out the door into the street and attempts to disappear among the crowd.
Can I do a perception check to see if I notice him leaving after her?
You had noticed the Skitterman notice Ogden leaving as well. Give me a sense motive to see if you can tell that it's because of the Skittermander or if he's just leaving nonchalantly.
All right. Not enough windows.
Oh goodness.
So
That's a yeah.
28.
You're on to that bet.
All right, I will message my employer and proceed out the door after him.
I'm trying to decide whether Mr. Laska would follow.
I mean, you don't have to. I just did it to keep you informed.
Yeah. Okay. Then yes, I will stay at the VIP section and keep an eye on the crowd.
All right. The Skittermander attempts to disappear into the crowd. Ogden, give me a perception check. to follow that skitter. Oh no!
Rolling. I'm not seeing it.
I see your roll.
What did I get?
16.
Oh, it's just. I thought it was the same 16 from the bluff. Okay. That's a bummer.
That is a bummer because the Skittermander vanishes into the quickly thickening crowd outside of the club. What do you do?
Ogden curses under his breath and is going to.
Adelaide catches up with him just then. Huh. Lost her, I see. And I look at him.
Lost who?
Adelaide, give me a percept to see if you can spot the skitter. It'll be a little bit harder for you, even because it's got no. That was only a 4, audience.
Yeah, no, that
you
was
don't see neither
that
hide
was a
nor hair
natural
of that skitter.
Yeah.
Toot
Toot
toot.
toot.
Yep. But Adelaide then turns to the next best thing, which is this fellow who is pursuing her, and says, she got away, I guess.
I beg your pardon?
That Skittermander that you were following. I see that she's
know what you're talking about.
Oh. Don't take that tone with me. We both know what you were doing. Let's simply skip those games, shall we? And play another one. Why were you following her?
Listen, I am here on official business with Division 9. I'm going to need you to step away from me, please.
Oh, Division 9, I wouldn't dream of getting in the way of the Viscarium. However, I couldn't help but notice that she seemed to be very interested in myself as I asked about the whereabouts of an associate. Perhaps you know of him, William Teeves?
Have I heard the name William Teeves before?
You have not. You're so far the only one who hasn't. You only heard Adelaide asking about Teeves at the bar, and you noticed your Skittermander get up and leave at the mention that he was not there. So, you've just heard the name when the Skittermander did.
Not before the past 5 minutes. Excuse me. I have to go back to my hotel. And Ogden is going to start walking through the crowd. He's looking for the Skittermander still.
If I may, I say as he's leaving, and I say this loud enough that he can't pretend he didn't hear me.
Well, he could.
Well, he could, but he'd look really weird. And he wants to be able to blend in. If I may, I stride back up to him. And just 2 quick strides. I mean, my legs are longer than his. My employer is available for contracting work. We have our own network of associates and resources in the area. Perhaps it would be in our mutual interest to work together to locate this individual.
Every second that you talk to me is wasting time when I could be finding what I'm looking for.
You already failed the perception check.
Very well.
I am going to go look for my objective.
If you
would
change
like
your
to
mind, and I produce a holo card and hand it to him. Adelaide Forthwith, Attorney at Large.
Excellent. Thank you. I have your card. Tucks it in his pocket and is going to go after the Skittermander.
Go ahead.
All right. So Ogden is making his way through the crowd. What are you doing to look for the Skittermander? Are you asking around, or
Yeah, I guess so.
Track, maybe.
Either diplomacy to ask around or survival they're gonna be roughly the same. So I'll just diplomacy makes more sense, I think.
It
if that's okay with you.
does take more time
Oh, okay.
than survival. They're gonna have
survival-
more time to get away if you're asking around. What you don't know is you could ask Adelaide to do it really fast.
Actually,
yeah, but I don't know that, and Ogden already dislikes Adelaide.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, that's fair. She went and injected herself in his business.
Yep,
Yeah.
she sticks her nose into anything that she wants. That's what she does. That's what they do.
Classic Adelaide.
That's going to be really fun.
Yeah, and
Ogden's
so
going to hate it.
So Adelaide, once he strides off, casts Charming Veneer, and takes 10 minutes to ask around after that fuzzy pink Skittermander in special armor. Diplomacy?
Yes. Diplomacy
Meanwhile,
to ask
Ogden
around.
will go for that survival check.
Does she maybe also check in with Lasco?
Oh yeah, no, I'm constant. We've got a feed. We've got a
Oh.
Slack going.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Oh
Looks like
man.
neither of us are having much luck.
Ooh,
I got
I
a
only
7
got
on
a-
my survival.
I got a 12 on my
Yeah,
diplomacy.
you start asking around the bouncer, the people in line, and nobody saw which direction that Skittermander went. Ogden also similarly hits a dead end. No little traces of pink fur that you can find, and it's really not obvious which direction this Skittermander took off in.
Level 1 Starfinder.
That's okay. I got you
Either
guys.
Really great or really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very swingy, but I got you guys. What do you guys do about this? Like, you're seemingly out of leads on that Skittermander for the moment.
Lasco will send Adelaide a message. See if this agent will have dinner with us. Maybe we can bring him into the meeting tomorrow in exchange for what he might know about whatever trouble Mr. Teves has gotten himself into.
Ogden, from your pocket, you hear a pleasant little chime. It's not the serendipity chime.
Totally different, easily
Totally different.
differentiated
Yes.
chime that has not yet been determined yet.
Diddly-dee. Diddly-dee. Diddly-dee.
Yeah.
Oh no!
What?
Hello. My employer wishes to extend to you an invitation to dinner. I've sent you the, you'll find the pertinent details on the back of this card. Whom shall
The
I
address
say?
for the fancy hotel where they're staying.
Yeah. Whom shall I tell the hostess to expect?
My
Poor
name is
Ogden.
Ogden Vilheit.
Fantastic. We'll see you at 7. And then she clicks off.
Poor Ogden.
Mic drop.
Adelaide, you have a really high culture, right?
Decent.
Give me a culture check.
I mean, Lasco also has a culture check. Can I also roll it? Since I have a feed.
Yes.
I
you
nat
have
20'd it.
feed. She nat 20'd it. Yeah. You guys recognize the name Velheit, not Ogden, but Velheit. There's a Ninden Velheit who rescued the entire system a while back.
I wonder what his brother's doing in section
Well, you don't know that it's a brother.
4. Okay.
But you have heard of Ninden. He's a pretty public figure. Problem with working in the Pact world. Everyone knows your damn brother.
So embarrassing.
You gotta stop giving your last name.
It's not Bellhead, it's Bellheit.
Smell bite.
Smellbite.
No, by
Boo!
My name is Ogden. This is my
Wow!
last name.
What strange dialect is that? Wow!
best height.
You just draw attention to his speech impediment. Wow! Wow!
Rude. Rude.
God, getting into the head of a secret, like, of a secret agent kind of person is really difficult.
Yeah, I don't envy you that one. You gotta
Yeah.
be all secretive. But he is only level 1. This is probably his first solo mission you know,
It is
without
in fact his
somebody,
first solo mission.
yeah, without somebody there to like help him figure out, hey, don't tell that weird lawyer lady. And then who comes up and just asks somebody that? She's got audacity on her.
I
Yeah.
gotta say, playing.
That's like how she gets everything done.
By contrast, playing a mindless drone, pretty easy.
Especially
don't
when you
even
got
have to
Leaf
press
just
the
telling you
unmute
what
button,
to do.
buddy.
Right.
So I guess after that annoyance, Ogden will go back to the club. Maybe talk up the bartender, see if the bartender can get me information on that Skittermander.
I sent him a drink.
You send him a drink.
Ogden pointedly ignores the drink.
You're not gonna drink that?
Nah.
Well, they didn't say much, honestly. They were waiting for someone, but they wouldn't even tell me who. Strange sort, if you ask me.
Listen, I couldn't help but notice when they left, they dropped their cred stick. And he holds up his cred stick. All I want to do is try and find them, see if I can perhaps return their cred stick for them. Is there any way that you could get me their information, where they're staying or something like that? If they're a regular, maybe you could tell me when they come back.
I mean, I've never seen them before, and they paid in cred sticks. So there's not much I can do there. I guess like I could tell you if they come back. No.
No.
It was like somebody. It was like
I
a
heard a
cannon
bump.
went off. Yeah, that was. I like felt it. I felt it in my chest.
That's it. It's the start of the skeleton war, everyone.
Yep. It's all over now.
Whew.
All right, time to tear off my flesh and join the winning team.
I was gonna say, shed your skin and join the winning team.
I'm sorry to have interrupted. They were saying they paid by cred stick and
They'd never seen him before. They could give him the cred stick if they come back.
oh no,
Oh
I
yeah,
don't think
sure.
I don't think I'll be leaving the cred stick here. I'm sorry. I will just hope to find them, I guess.
Sorry.
Well, have a good night. And Ogden will just leave, go back to his hotel room. Maybe do some research on this Teve guy.
Yeah,
how
give
many
me.
leads you got left, buddy? If only,
I got
if only you had...
Teves.
He's got Teves. He's got a brand new shiny lead.
Oh,
Yeah, shiny new lead. I got.
Alright, you don't need me.
No.
Do you want to just
Og-
take 20? Use the infosphere.
Yeah,
On
sure.
that? What
Were
is
you
that?
going to say that Ogden is a big, strong Vesk who don't need no Yisoki?
Toki.
No rat man.
Mouse.
No. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is, like, here's the trouble I'm having from my perspective is Ogden doesn't want to, like, he doesn't trust any of you. Like, why should he trust Adelaide? Why should he trust Lucas Lasco, who he hasn't met yet?
Yeah, I don't see you trusting them, but you could see them as resources to exploit.
Yeah. Well, he's already got the dinner invite from you all. Where am I? When that was tomorrow,
it-
though, wasn't it?
It's whenever is convenient for the narrative.
Sure.
Let's make it a late dinner tonight. Adelaide said 7. For
Okay.
the sake of like sort of this bouncy fast little narrative. Let's
Sure.
make it a late dinner.
Okay, makes sense. That is good information to know.
That was on station
So-
time.
Yes. So I look him up. Look up this Willem Teves on the infosphere, taking 20.
Yeah. So what is
For a
that?
total of 20.
For a total of 20 on your culture check.
Ogden's not good at computers
That's
or culture.
fine. That's fine.
But he's pretty good,
well,
buddy.
you access the local infosphere and you poke around for a little while. You can't find a lot on Teves. You do find the records of him owning the bar. And it appears he also owns a shipping business locally with a warehouse down in the Port District. But yeah, other than that, there's not a lot on the guy. He's got a spaceogram with some off-color memes on it that are sort of offensive.
Classy.
Yeah. Okay. With this in mind, I suppose Ogden will sigh, dismiss his computer, and head back to the bar. I suppose. The neon skin.
Or you could also clean up and get ready for dinner. I imagine about this point is probably when these two are heading out to meet you at the hotel.
I misunderstood where the fancy dinner was.
At the hotel.
Yes.
Yes.
Ogden heads over to the hotel. He even puts on his formal wear.
Nice.
Yeah.
As these two are
We have
leaving the
formal wear,
neon neon skin, Iris and Sid are just arriving. There is a line halfway around.
Iris just walks right up and shows their steward badge and says "steward business" to the doorman.
He shows his steward badge to the doorman.
Yeah. Steward business. I need to speak with your boss. Nick, I cannot hear you.
Sorry, I should have seen this coming. You got a warrant?
I don't need a warrant. I'm here to speak to someone, and that's it.
Boss ain't here. You outside, you gotta wait in line like everyone else.
Not here? Then where are they?
Shrugs.
Iris grabs them by the scruff of the neck and slams them against the wall and says, "Listen, you're little people. You mean absolutely nothing here. I need to know where Willem Teagues is, or I'm going to throw you in the stockade."
Do we hear this? Do I notice this?
That's
You
a
guys are
24
just
to
walking
intimidate.
out as this happens, yeah.
That's a 24
and
to intimidate.
While Iris does that, Sid just simply leers over Iris's shoulder.
Yeah.
Like the head just kind of laser focuses on the mook that Iris is torturing right now.
He assists.
The people at the front of the line like recoil, like take a step back, and the bodyguard or the door manager's like, "Dude, I don't know where he is. I'm just the doorman."
All right, just doorman. Then I'm headed inside.
Okay.
It's a strange
And-
sci-fi name, just the doorman.
Right. Well, no, that's.
Friends
Iris
call
is
him
making a point here.
Must be
you
a
see.
Lashunta.
Yeah, it must be a Lashunta. And with that, let's go of the scruff of his neck, and we'll head inside unless further accosted.
Oh no, the doorman is not going to accost you again.
I should hope not. And we head on in. I suppose the thing to do would be scan the crowd. I assume I have a current image of this Willem Teagues or Teaves.
Teeves.
Teaves. Of this Willem Teaves from my infosphere search on
Yes.
him on the way over. My 26 if I took a 20. 27.
He is a large black Yosoki, and he is not here.
Large black Kisoki, not in the crowd, goes up to the bartender and says, "Steward business. I need to know everything you know about Willem Teaves, specifically their current location."
I don't know where Mr. Teeves is. He hasn't been in today.
Who would know? No one here seems to know where he is. What kind of establishment are you folks running here?
I mean, I'm just the bartender. He's the owner. I don't really question where he goes.
I am Karen 2.0 and I demand to speak to a manager.
Well-
Has somebody made an android character that's just Karen with a number after it?
Oh
I
god.
love this idea.
Yeah.
Aaron with a 3 instead of an E.
And a 4 instead of an A.
Avi.
Adelaide, are you gonna stick your nose in this at all?
Absolutely. This is what Adelaide does.
Well,
So
he's interrogating the poor bartender who's just trying to do
Yeah.
her job.
Adelaide stops at the barman and sort of helps him smooth his outfit, straightens his tie, and asks in sort of like an almost soothing way, "Oh, that looked just awful. What did that rude android want to know?"
Oh, it's fine, ma'am. He just wanted to know where the owner was.
No, I got it. You can like walk up to the scene as it's happening and clear your throat.
Are we rewinding?
Yeah.
Before Iris
I was just
goes in?
proposing. All right, fine. Never mind. You do your own thing.
Ah, interesting. Then we cut to the android trying to interrogate the bartender, and you hear a slight cough from behind.
There we go.
And there I am.
Iris kind of wheels around, and then instead of looking down for someone like they normally do, they're actually looking like eye to eye with a rather tall individual.
Actually, Adelaide is almost.
Oh,
I think Adelaide's almost taller than.
No,
only by
but-
probably an inch or two, but.
yeah. So roughly like face to face, and enough so that Iris is, instead of like this, like
So many talls in this party, and one small.
many tall, one small. Yes. Yes. What do you want?
I understand you're looking for Mr. T.
Yes. Do you know where he is?
What is your business, Mr. T?
Steward business, and I flash my badge again.
Flashing that badge all over the place today.
Interesting. That makes two of you.
2, huh?
Well,
Is there another steward here?
no, not
Iris.
not-
Yeah.
And I just smile enigmatically.
Don't have
If you
any
would come
record.
this way. And then I lead him to our car, where Mr. Lasco is waiting. And I just get him into our car.
Before entering this stranger's vehicle,
that's
Iris
important.
is going to. Yeah, Iris is going to sense this lady's motive. Oh no, it's only a 17.
Oh man, let's do a bluff. A bluff versus, because
This is their favorite audience. This is their favorite thing about intrigue games is bluffing and sense motivating each other. It's almost PvP.
It is.
All right, I got a 15. So you
I
can
should
tell.
go ahead.
So you can tell that I want to know what you want to know, and that I'm also kind of faking knowing more than I'm faking knowing more than I actually know.
Hmm.
Pretending like you have more information than you have.
Yes.
Gotcha. As a steward officer, Iris thinks this might not be such a great idea, but as a consummate professional and someone who's always interested in getting to the bottom of this case, they decide to go with you anyways to try and see what you might know anyways. As I'm sure Iris potentially recognizes Lucas Lasco as one of Steve's close associates. Close, right?
You
And,
probably saw his name in the file.
and
think
before
is
I
what Simon
close the
said.
door,
This is
Before I
definitely
close the-
still potentially.
before I close the door on the car, I sort of lean my head in and go, "Would you like your drone to also accompany us?"
Well, of course. The drone will be following.
That's the thing, is that
Sit in the bar.
that's the thing, is that I had Sid roll engineering to see if they could determine if the car can support their weight.
I just like the idea of Sid getting into the car and like it cuts to like the back wheel, You know, like
The bumper's dragging on the ground.
a little
That's
bit.
good narratively.
It's like the camera sits still, but you can see as the entirety of the interior of the car just lowers down and then slowly raises back up.
As like the pneumatics kick in, yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's a space car. It's got shocks and
It'll
stuff
absorb
to
it.
So,
It'll be fine.
Space shock.
yeah, space shocks.
Space shot.
Man, those Spock death scenes though.
And so I get back into the car and I shut it, and we're both facing you guys in the seat in the back. We're doing
Of
the
course.
sitting backwards in the limo.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
In the ill-lit limo with the street lights racing past our faces.
Of course.
And
There's-
because
there's-
it's like cyberpunk occasional neon from the neon signs.
There's rain falling on the windows. I know it's a space station,
There's
but
no
there's rain
rain
anyways.
Space station.
I wish. There's a long
Okay, there
long
could be
pregnant
rain if you guys
pause.
really wanted.
No. Simulated rain on the window. Simulated by the window itself.
As the car starts to move, there's a long pregnant pause as Mr. Lasco takes in each of you. Iteration 13. How can L21 Incorporated help you with your investigation?
Oh,
Well, it's
you know what? Before you two get in,
Go ahead.
before you four get into this conversation, Lasco and Adelaide, give me culture checks. Recall to see if
Sorry,
you've heard of this particular steward.
Yeah, I was just assuming that I succeeded that without rolling. Sorry. 18,
Yeah.
but plus 5 because police. So yeah.
What do you think?
it's a 14 for me.
Leaf is. I think that's probably enough for a well-versed criminal to have heard of you. You're.
I'd say with the
You're known
decent.
for being effective.
Yeah.
I had a chance to Google you while I was watching Adelaide's stream.
Okay, so Lasco knows.
Yeah, Adelaide's wearing like basically Google Glass, except it actually got adopted. And
Oh, hey, nice.
yeah,
That's the dream.
So Adelaide, you know he's a steward. You can't get into the records or anything, but you know like just who he is. Lasco, you probably know a little bit more. I'll let Leaf decide how much a well-versed criminal might know of Iteration 13.
Definitely, there is talk amongst the lower types of a well.
Iteration Texas Ranger.
Yeah, let me think how we put this. Yeah, basically, iteration. They're well known for a high arrest record, and they're less than savory tactics in information gathering, as was witnessed by Forthwith, as was witnessed by Forthwith. Yeah, but nothing really, outside of the realm of typical steward stuff. As far as like roughing people up goes, no like hospital visits for anyone. Just some like bruises every now and again. If
Chaotic
they don't
good.
get them.
We all get it. Yeah.
Lawful neutral. Thank you very much.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time not playing a good character, and the first time ever playing someone with the lawful.
He
alignment.
doesn't care
So
about
we'll
life.
see
He only
where
cares
this
about
goes.
the law.
Yeah.
Okay. And not exactly
Or-
his superior's directives.
Or
He
he could
does.
be, collecting action figures in the name of preservation.
Yes.
Okay.
So the last thing that we had was Mr. Lasco like looking you in the eyes for like a long
Yes.
moment, and then asking, "What can L21 Incorporated do to assist you in your investigation?"
And iteration will lean forward kind of and steeple their fingers and say, well, Mr. Lasco, I understand that you, as an associate of Mr. Teeves, might know where he is currently located. We have some questions for him. Nothing serious. Just quick interrogation.
I have
Do you want me
known.
to bluff? That's a 4.
Sure. I mean, nothing you said was false, right? But
Not really. No. Trying to downplay the severity of how much this individual is of
It's a natural
interest.
suit.
yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I don't think whether I believe you or not affects my response.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Laska will nod. I've been an associate of Mr. Teeves for a number of years. Like myself, he's been guilty of a great many infractions against station law and Pact Worlds law.
I should say.
However, as you well know, however, as I'm sure you're aware, we have gone. All of our operations, as of this moment, are entirely legitimate, and this includes those of my associate, Mr. Teeves. That said, it is remotely possible that he has been engaged in something in recent days that I am not aware of and could not legally sanction.
I should say he doesn't sound like he got the memo, and at this point, Iris will sit back and kind of with a flip of a hand, kind of transfer to them some shocking images of the murder scene. Gasp.
Hey, brutal. I told Leif this earlier, but it's been a while. There have been several particular. I'm not gonna do details. But gruesome murders.
And I'm sorry, so the murder that we're seeing, these are old ones? He's not showing us from, this night?
No, these will be older ones.
Okay.
Not specifically
And-
from tonight. Trying to play things close to home.
He's got 7 or 8 brutal murders.
I can even just start drawing from past crimes. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah. Well, Adelaide just sort of blinks at them, and I'm sorry, is this supposed to impress me? Are you suggesting that Mr. Teeves is responsible for them?
We have evidence linking him to the crime scene at the very least. Like I said, we have questions. Questions that need answering. I couldn't help myself.
Thank you.
Sorry.
And of course, we are happy to assist you. However, he still falls within our legal umbrella, and he will, of course, be permitted to talk to his lawyer before talking to you.
Yeah, of course. I understand how the Miranda 13 rights work.
I'm sure you do. That said, before we can have these conversations, we need to find him. And it just so happens that we have a lead that I don't think you have yet. A third party is also interested in learning his whereabouts, and I'm optimistic that if we unite our resources and our leads, we should be able to make good progress in short order.
Who is this?
Are you two gonna mention that you have a meeting set for Teeves?
We can reveal that we're going to be meeting with Ogden.
Not yet. Let's
I just
hold on to that.
wanted to
Later.
remind you guys that that's a card you have on these two. They're both looking for Teeves, and you have a.
Acknowledged. Okay.
Good to know. For them, not me. I don't.
Yeah, you don't. Obviously, Iris, Sid, and Ogden don't know, but
Right, so
I
we
wanted
won't-
to remind these two that they have that card to play.
Yeah.
But yes, at this point we can make it to the hotel restaurant, which has been cleared out in anticipation of our dinner.
All right.
Wow.
Maybe
throwing some money
instead of
around.
Cleared out. They have a private room for you in the back, like one of the banks, well away from prying eyes, with solid aluminum doors that have been decorated to look like old Galarian wood and shine to a high gloss, and a long dining table that has been laid out with appetizers and champagne in preparation for your arrival.
Simon trying to push
Ogden.
the bounds of his crime
fine.
boss status.
That's fine.
You see where you can go. No.
You can't have quite the whole bar, but you can have
That's fine.
a really nice banquet room.
Don't blame me for
Yeah,
asking.
share that. Yeah, save that for like level 5 or so.
Yeah, you can always ask. It never hurts to ask. Usually when you go big, you get something pretty good. So, Ogden, would you like to already be there or arrive after?
Yeah, Ogden will be sitting at the bar, wearing a nice, his formal clothes, nice suit.
He could already be in the banquet room as well if he tells the
Then I like that.
His
who he
his
is,
formal
then
lab
they
coat.
will- His formal lab coat.
He
Yeah,
cases
Adelaide-
the joint.
Coat right now.
He cases the
Adelaide
joint
gives
through a
him an
ceiling
up
tile.
down.
Yeah.
Adelaide gives him an up down just to make him uncomfortable and says, "Agent Ogden, you clean up well."
Thank you. Who's that? Who are they?
Iris just kind of rolls their eyes.
Yes. Introductions are in order. Let's take a seat. We take seats.
Be my guest.
Seats taken.
You guys are the ones in this room. Your server will come around and take your drink order as you're making some small talk at the beginning, and then leave the room, allowing you guys.
Yeah, Iris will be sure to mention as she leaves to make sure that we're not disturbed.
Yes, that would be.
I appreciate.
I think that's understood already.
I appreciate your caution, iteration 13, but that is already being taken care of.
Sid does not sit.
Yeah.
What does
Yeah,
Sid
no.
do
Sid stands.
in the corner?
Does he sweep with the blue light?
I mean, that's pretty much kind of always going. Like, it's
Scanning
kind
for
of like a
hostiles.
slow, just like a
Yeah.
slow. The visor like starts up and then dips down and then goes across and then goes back up to the other side, and there's just like a blue dot that just kind of traces from left to right slowly.
I love it. Iris, when they do get there, says, "Sid, stand by mode." And
Acknowledged.
Iteration
I guess-
13. This is Agent Ogden Velheit of oh gosh, what was it? Division 9.
Division
Division.
yeah,
9.
no. In fact, Iris will finish that statement for you as you stumble over Division 9.
Yes.
And he
Fine.
reaches out and shakes his hand and says, "Yes, I've heard much about your organization." Kind of knowing that that's like not what you're supposed to say about a spy agency.
And I yours, iteration 13. So nice to meet a steward.
Indeed, I'm sure it
Yes.
is.
Let us hope to foster interdepartmental cooperation, gentlemen. And I raise my glass and
Glass
take a
raises
sip
a glass.
when no one else does.
We appear to all be
no.
chasing.
Iris will raise a glass, but maintain eye contact with Ogden. And just on that note of interdepartmental cooperation, they mention, or they just kind of offhandedly say, "Indeed, as long as there's no funny business." And then
There is no funny business to be had. We're all chasing the same individual for legitimate, justifiable, and legal reasons.
Methinks the Yusoki doth protest too much.
That's my little name.
You know it's legal when you specify that it's legal.
Repeatedly.
for 100% legal reason.
I don't know that we are chasing the same individual. You have mentioned this Mr. Teeves. I am not after him, but rather someone else.
It seems likely that to find someone who is who is looking for Mr. Teeves, it would behoove you to find Mr. Teeves. Unless you have another lead on that pink Skittermander that I'm not aware of.
I'm sure forthwith.
Regrettably
fill
not.
you in on it.
Then
Fine.
I believe
Then-
we're all on the same page. As it happens, I've already arranged a meeting with Mr. Teeves, and I think it would behoove all of us to go together.
As a reformed, legitimate businessman, would Mr. Teeves take kindly to so many outsiders being brought to this meeting?
What do you propose?
Mr. Teeves forfeited his ability to object to the guest list when he failed to arrive at our appointed time this afternoon.
Laska will put up a hand. That said, if there's a way that you'd propose to make him a bit more comfortable with the meeting, I'd be eager to hear it.
I don't have one. I was mostly just asking you, because I don't want any trouble sticking my nose into somebody else's business.
He says, staring at Adelaide pointedly.
I didn't say.
What's that gif where it's the mom from Arrested Development, and she's like, if that comment was about me, then I choose not to hear it, or something like that.
Yeah. Simon, you might be muted.
Yep. Why don't I? Your point is a sound one. What if I go into the meet? What if Ms. Fortwith and I go into the meeting, just the two of us as scheduled, and I let you in on the stream of the meeting? You can let me know any questions that you want me to ask, and if we have enough leverage, you can be nearby so that we can invite you into the room itself.
I suppose I don't have many other options, as
No.
the little furball did happen to get away.
You don't have any options now. Stop asking questions.
I cough pointedly at the little furball comment. And give you a look like you're on thin ice, Buster.
Laska smiles amicably.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have to look upset. That's my job.
Indeed. Iteration 13, would this also suit your needs?
Acceptable. Although I would much like to have my own personal interview with that after you are done. And it would be required that I at least be in the same building while you are meeting.
The same building may be difficult, depending on what building is selected, but certainly waiting outside.
Are you not meeting at the bar?
Nick, where was the meeting scheduled?
At the bar.
Okay. Sure, you can certainly be in the larger bar, and we will try to invite you into the VIP room. That said, I'm not offering this favor for free. I need to know more about what you know about Mr. Teeves, so that I can choose how deeply to involve him in the operation of L02E01 Incorporated in the future.
Well, I'm not at liberty to...
In particular, Iteration 13, I'm curious about this evidence of yours.
Well, I'm not at liberty to discuss ongoing cases. That said, I can tell you that you're, now that we're on even terms here, your friend may or may not be a suspect in a string of murder cases. And if not, I need to know what they know, because they were certainly at the last murder crime. That crime scene.
Murder crime, yeah, I get it.
Murder crime!
What evidence do you have that he was involved? What put you on his track?
Let's say his tracks. Sid, was that funny, Sid?
Affirmative.
This is, yeah.
Sid, no, I've got this. Sid actually will incline their head towards Iris and reply, "You have indicated to me in the past that such jokes are funny."
Thank you, Sid. I just thought no one else was laughing.
It was a very funny joke.
This is like the loneliest android in the world.
I love it. He can't keep a partner, so they gave him a droid. Now he asked the droid.
You found his footprint. You identified his a fingerprint, but on.
Iris will recall the evidence that they found earlier, and basically show the linking chains there, as it were.
I see. After studying it for a few moments, this is disturbing. And you have similar evidence linking him to past crimes going back more than 2 years?
Well, I'm not so certain about that, but we're working on it. Well, like I said, we have questions that need answered.
As do I now. Mr. Velheit, your interest, indirect as it may be?
All that I know about Mr. Teeves, I found on the infosphere earlier today, when I heard his name for the first time. Suffice to say, what you know is probably what I know. I am more Go on.
The pink Skittermander.
The Skittermander has something of interest to the Vescarium. I would like to recover it.
And to Mr. Teeves?
I don't know why what connects the Skittermander and Mr. Teeves, but I do know that when Miss Fortwith was asking about the bar after Mr. Teeves, the Skittermander, upon hearing Mr. Teeves had not been around in a while and was likely not coming in tonight, abruptly left the bar. I tried to trail that.
I see.
It seems that this Skittermander has some interest. Perhaps they were handing off this object, this asset, to Mr. Teeves. Should have just taken it while I could.
Mr. Velheit?
The thing that I've been sent to recover, not a person.
And what is this thing?
You know how these missions are. They don't exactly
Yes.
tell you precisely what they're for. It's just I got a message, was given yay big, yay tall, and I am to recover it.
It's a MacGuffin.
That's a bluff. That's a bluff. You definitely know slightly more about it. And I want to sense motive.
Are McMuffins in this universe?
I do as well, and of course they are. McMuffins are universal.
Alright, it looks like Iteration is the only one who suspects him of knowing more than he lets on.
Indeed. Iteration's not going to say anything though. They're going to let Ogden keep this one and then use it against them later.
Go on then, keep your secrets.
Alright. Well, I think with all of our cards are on the table, I'm willing to let each of you attend the meeting in the manner previously discussed. Here are the details, and I'll swipe them over via communits. We'll meet at the Neon Skin at 10 a.m. tomorrow. It should be a little bit quieter.
Agreed. Interesting name for a bar, don't you think?
Lasco leans back, sort of in less business-like mode. I've heard worse. The Fusion Queen didn't make much sense either.
Never heard of it.
Of course you didn't. It's not real.
Fusion Queen was the other gang.
It was the other
I know.
name.
He still knows about it.
Yeah,
Fair
I mean,
I'm sure that level 21 was well aware of the. Oh, what was the other one?
The king?
the Downside King.
The
Downside
Downside
Kings.
king.
I'm
Yes.
pretty sure
What
they
a
knew
bunch
about
of
the
hacks.
Downside Kings establishments and dens. Probably.
Yes, the Downside Kings don't exist anymore. Their establishments are under new ownership.
They ceased to exist. Yes.
One of them by some Raimi Quindar guy.
They've been dissolved.
Yes.
By some Raimi Quindar guy.
Buy some
Yeah.
Raimi.
Yeah, Quindar Incorporated. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Quindar and Quindar.
All right.
There are some other names you don't want to mess with.
Yes, so Lucas will be happy to engage in small talk with you for the remainder of the dinner, and the dinner's pretty nice.
Mm.
But at the end of
Ogden,
oh,
Ogden enjoys his meal. He orders a steak. Don't know why I felt that was important to say. I was just elaborating.
cool. I order a steak too.
Yeah, no, iteration ordered nutrient supplement number 21.
Oh, lovely.
Violent. Fuel.
It comes with all the proper proteins and the internal lubricants required to run an Android clean for
Sid
24
finds
solid
a
hours.
phone charging station.
Delicious.
Just plugs
What is
himself
this
in.
woman's order?
Nom nom
Excellent.
nom.
This is
It's
excellent energy.
All right.
All right. Well, if you guys don't have anything else small talk wise,
No, we can move on to the meeting the next day.
the juicy bits. The juicy bits.
The juicy
So what
bits.
about
Oh,
you,
say they were
Lucas?
juicy
What
bits.
is your favorite color?
Green. It's all right.
I like to think of like conversations you have with someone you like over the phone, but in person. You're like, "What are you wearing?" And it's like,
I you know what? Never mind.
All right. Well then, in that case, you all have the rest of the evening to yourselves. If there's anything any of you want to poke into independently, goes home, or anything else, last minute odds and ends.
Yeah, Iris
Adelaide
is-
goes through her very exacting skincare routine. She does every night.
Of course. Iris is going to go over the files again, try and see if there's anything that they missed. But if there's not, then we'll retire to bed in a huff.
All right. In that case,
no,
the
there's
next
nothing for Ogden.
Okay. The next morning, you all head back to the Neon Skin. It's not very busy in the morning. Being predominantly a nightclub. There's no doorman on duty. Have been taken down, but your message, we'll go ahead and have it open. So you guys can head inside in whatever sort of order you like.
Yeah, I suppose we should, before we walk inside, Laska will turn to the rest of the people in the car and say, given that it's during the daytime, it may be difficult to filter into the lounge surreptitiously.
That's all right. I've got this. Sid, watch the door. And Iris will go ahead and
Of course.
reactivate their impersonation matrix and give themselves street clothes again.
And Laska will turn to Ogden. Where do you plan? Are you coming in with us, or are you waiting outside?
I will head in and wait at the bar, I think.
Sid, incognito mode, and that hopefully means that Sid just acts like a deactivated drone at the door, but is in scan mode.
Deactivated at the door?
acting
seemed
like
a little
you're
obvious.
deactivated. Activate. I don't know. Like, okay.
He's
In
probably
an
less
alleyway. In an
suspicious.
alleyway next to a side door.
He's
I
probably
don't want
less
him too far in
suspicious if you
case
just
I need him
leave
inside, though.
Just put him on standby.
He's probably
Yeah.
least
Yeah, but
suspicious,
where?
like on standby at the door. Because it
Stand by.
is like a nightclub. It's not totally out of the realm of possibility. They usually have a bouncer, people bouncer, but it's not
Alright.
totally out of the realm of possibility for a nightclub to have a robot at the door.
Okay.
But I mean,
There we
Let's try.
it's the guy's nightclub, so he's gonna know that Sid is not his robotic
Oh, yes.
bouncer.
He will, but like other people would not.
Right.
Sure.
Look
We're
like-
assuming
Yeah,
that this
probably
person
don't
is
need to call.
already here. I
Yeah.
think.
Okay. So yes, we will filter into the room, and is the bartender there, or is Teves there?
There is a bartender on duty. They recognize you as you walk in. Good morning, Mr. Lasco.
Just so.
Mr. Teves is waiting for you in the back.
We go to the back.
Just you and Fort Worth, I presume.
Now,
Yes, although feeding the stream to. the
yeah, I
other
was going to
three.
ask. We have. Okay.
All right, so you two head into the back where Teves, this large black Yosoki, is sitting on his big old couch. He gets up as you come in. Lasco! So sorry about yesterday. I got caught up with things that I forgot all about our meeting. I'm so sorry.
I understand. Business has been hectic of late. What with all of these changes?
Oh, you're telling me, man. The family's been breathing down my neck, and I don't even want to get into it. It's been massively stressful here. Come in, have a drink on me. Bartender! He calls the bartender in, and she takes your orders.
I'm sure. Mr. Lasco will take the drinks and make the obligatory small talk. I'm sure you're aware of why we're here, Teves.
Yeah, Fort Worth sent over some paperwork. I think I have it around here somewhere. He open a drawer in the little table in front of the sofa and starts digging through a bunch of data pads.
Adelaide raises one eyebrow.
Lasco waits patiently.
This one, yeah, this one here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something about you wanted to go legit, right? You wanted shipments to go somewhere else?
We have gone legit for a year.
Oh, good for you.
And I notified you of this of a few months ago that you would need to adjust the way that you conducted your business. I believe something got lost in transmission because you have not followed the new procedures that Ms. Fortwith has established. Which may lead me to assume that maybe you didn't read the documents as carefully as you purport to have done so.
Well, you know me, Lasco. I'm not good at that reading stuff.
Of course, and I'm only too happy to educate you on the new way that business is going to work.
Steven's supposed to do all the reading, you know? And the bartender brings you guys the drinks. Meanwhile, I imagine Iris and Sid come into the bar proper and sit down and get some drinks there as they listen in on the conversation in the back room.
Can
Sid
I
watching
sense
the door,
motive?
but also Iris is going to sit themselves close to the door. The back room is.
Sure. Liz, you were saying?
I'd like to sense motive. If he's playing dumb or really just didn't read my memo.
Sure. What'd you get?
Other screen.
Looks like a 12, and Lasco got a...
Yeah, no, it
13.
didn't. That's odd.
Oh. I
It
see
did.
Oh, nope.
It's a 9.
Oh, take that second roll. It's better.
Can I take that second? Better?
It's perception.
I mean, it's a D20 roll though.
Well, he doesn't seem to be playing dumb. It seems like he legitimately just doesn't read. There's probably a reason that he's, in the line of business that he is being, smuggling. He's
Right,
always been a little bit unreliable.
I understand. We all have our own quirks, our own strengths and weaknesses, and we're only too happy to educate you on the new way that our business is going to run hereafter. All goods are to adhere to the legal standards of the stewards, the Pact World, and station security. This means none of the illegal narcotics, none of the modified weaponry. I realize that this represents a significant change in the way that you do business, and we're willing to make certain concessions on some of our transferal fees in order to smooth the transition.
Sure, I mean, it's your loss, really. He takes a big swig of his drink and then starts choking.
Ruh-roh!
Alright.
Okay.
As soon as Ogden sees this on the feed, he rushes to the back room. He might be good with poison.
Wait, sir, you can't go back there. But
Yeah,
it's
you
not.
probably
It's a
Stopping
bit of an
stopping
emergency.
Iris
Not actually
will.
stopping you. They're just telling you can't.
Yeah, no. Iris will get in the way of anyone trying to stop him back there.
Yeah, no, the bartender's not going to physically try to stop you. They're just going to tell
Sure.
you you can't.
Okay. So let's see. Oh, of course. I
And now-
actually closed my heckin' comm, and now I actually need to know exactly what I can do with it.
That's all
toxic
right. Well, you're
compost.
finding that Iris will go ahead and rush over to the door and actually stand by it and not let anyone in or out, and call Sid to his side, to their side.
Well, this
all
one's
right. Yeah, sure did. I swear I didn't touch the drinks. Ogden is going to, rush to Teeves and say, what did? Well, no, I saw. So it was after he took the drink, yes?
You
Yes.
saw everything I did.
Medicine check. To
Use
Give
your
me that
chemilizer.
Yeah, I will use my chemilizer.
What does the chemilizer do?
Ooh, it gives me
Tell us
that
about the
20.
chemilizer, Tom.
Shoot, it's not like you even.
chemilizer is in the armory, of course.
Yeah, the
which
chemilizer is apparently called his eyes with that natural 20.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
cow.
I see the
so-
molecules.
Ogden whips out like a little. It looks like a tricorder kind of thing where it's like his custom microlab mechanically, but he pulls out a little device and sticks a wand into Teeves's mouth. And we're gonna try and find the chemilizer. Sorry, everybody.
No worries.
Gives you a
Gives me
bonus,
a bonus
circumstance
to
bonus.
physical science checks to identify an unknown drug, medicinal, poison, or other
Yep.
chemical substance. So
Oh, look at that.
can we roll that into my medicine check or?
Yeah, what does that give you total?
33.
33!
Level
Holy
1,
crap.
folks.
The poison
Yeah.
leaps out of his mouth.
Well, no, it's only to
It's only to identify.
You'll never catch me alive! It says
Right.
running out the room.
I'm so sorry to have disturbed you. Like, makes everything back to the way it was.
This happens to be a very potent poison, popular on Hackathon of all places. Very, very hard to cure. He's going to be dead in a second.
I can perform.
He has seconds to live.
I
Okay.
cast churn fluid.
Which
I
Wait,
turn
what?
it. So
It's a
basically,
cantrip.
I can. Yeah. But I can turn any fluid into a bulk up to a bulk of fluid per level into potable water, salt water, mildly corrosive acid or base, blood, or any non-toxic, non-damaging
I
fluid.
think it seems unlikely that you can nullify plot poison with a cantrip.
I can try.
It does. Do you have to touch the liquid?
I do not. However, I need to be able to see the receptacle that holds it.
I mean, I don't.
He is the receptacle.
He is a receptacle.
Yeah.
If it was still in the glass, I would let you do it. But I think Simon's right. I
It's
really
already
want to rule
intermingled with his blood.
but yeah,
all right,
you
all right,
have to like turn his blood into water. No.
This is an action with the medicine check, though, to treat poison.
Yes, you can treat poison with medicine.
So I just need to beat the DC of the poison or drug, whatever it is. And if I do, Teves gets a +4 bonus to his next save against it.
Right.
Son of a
right.
natural toot.
Oh. Oh no! Chat, give us a toot. Poor Ogden. Oh
I know exactly what this poison is. But
you also knew that it was
It's a good one. It's a
really
good poison.
effective poison. Somebody really wanted this guy dead.
Yeah, Ogden's
And
gonna say that somebody really wanted this guy dead.
And he collapses into the couch.
The moment after he dies, like Ogden's like, "Oh wait, I did have the." Never mind.
Iteration 13, would you please instruct Sid to apprehend the bartender?
Sid, apprehend the bartender.
Sid was already moving slightly before the order was given.
I'm curious. What? This is in the vast, right? We're not in the Pact Worlds.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We are in
it's
near
the last
space.
stop on the way to
Okay.
anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So do I have? So searching protocols. Do I have? I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm being ordered to do this. I guess
You don't technically have
we don't have
authority,
authority
but
here, do we?
the local they don't have like police here. They have a
I've been giving
security
an order.
force that was hired by the people who own the station. And that security force asked you to look into this.
So instead
Sure,
of having to figure out the reworkings for Sid, Iris will just go ahead and apprehend the bartender themselves.
Oh no!
If do it. He
order.
was just curious.
If given an order, I'm curious
Let
myself.
the drone do something.
If there are.
Yes, as station security is privately owned and they sent you after this person, you probably effectively have jurisdiction.
Mhm.
All right, if it's not like questionable legally, then yes, Sid will order, or Iris will order Sid to apprehend the bartender.
Okay.
Is that what you want?
Sid, while normally using quiet servos when walking, will go ahead and disengage the mechanisms that cause the steps to normally be a tolerable level, because this helps with the intimidation factor. As the drone loudly approaches the bar and informs the bartender to remain still and that they are under arrest.
Bartender puts their hands up and stands still.
Thank you for your cooperation.
They look pretty scared.
Ogden
This has
turns
quickly
to-
gone outside of my wheelhouse.
Unfortunately, this is in my wheelhouse.
Mine as well.
I recognize this poison. Somebody really wanted this guy dead. This poison does not come cheap. Interesting to know as well. Perhaps of great interest to parties here. It is an Acatonian poison.
Interesting. I don't suppose either of you forensic types are able to analyze the glass he was drinking from.
Yeah, Iris is gonna actually. Well, one thing at a time. Glass first. Is there more to be gained by analyzing it further, or has the chemalizer pretty much gained everything that we need to know about it?
The chemalizer got the poison itself but give me your investigator
Yeah,
scanning
okay.
of the area to look
Scan it for fingerprint.
for other clues.
Oh, assist.
21.
Plus an assist from Lucas.
And if it's you're
Last
scanning the
go,
area,
please.
it's +4.
So, looking around the room, Iris, you the only fingerprints you find on the cup itself seem to belong to Willem. You do notice that the cup itself is monogrammed and matches a decanter in the corner, which you notice with Lucas's help when he points out that was the decanter Willem was using to pour his own drink rather than getting drinks from the bar.
Scanning that one too, then.
Yeah, and there are multiple fingerprints on that one. It looks like somebody else probably filled it today. Running them through the local system, you find they match the bartender, who has a couple of petty theft charges for stealing lipstick from the Walgreens.
Really non-crimes.
If you're going to shoplift, at least shoplift from.
No. See, Iris appreciates stealing from Walmart and Walgreens. They're evil companies.
And but aside from that, you notice that one, like, those fingerprints are all on like two sides, and one side has been like completely wiped clean, like somebody touched it and wiped their prints off.
This is
Intensifying scan. Enhance. Enhance.
Is there anything to be perceived in the front room, or is that all pretty much?
It's just you and the bartender at the moment. Woo! Crow likes the stream. You knew that already, Crow.
Someone finally likes us.
Thanks for pointing out the obvious.
But yes, we appreciate it anyway. Sorry, I was trying to give you guys more clues, and I lost my train of thought. Because I was so excited to see that little stream notification. So yes, one side is wiped down, and you guys know that this poison is very expensive and hard to come by. It comes primarily, it's a favorite on Akaton, and I really want to give you guys one more, but I didn't write it down, and now I can't remember.
And it's always used by Skittermanders looking to erase their connections with a certain Ahsoka.
No. Actually, it's not. Good guess, but
Can I do a culture check to see if I know of anyone on the station who sells this poison? That seems like something that would be up my alley.
You've never heard of it really here. It seems likely something this expensive came from off-world.
Sure, but do I know anyone who uses this usually?
No.
Or okay.
Big time crime families. No one here. The mafia tends to use this stuff. Oh, that was the other thing. You search his pockets. I remembered my last clue. My big clue that I'm like, I can remember. What was it? Where's my PDF? The last clue in his pocket. You find a slip of paper that reads Ogada Iom Chimera.
Ogada
Iom.
Can I do a culture check on those words?
Yes, you can.
I'm I will as well.
Come on, Adobe. Let me copy this name.
That's
I
a
just want to
13
give it to my players.
Did I
plus
not?
5
There
with...
it goes.
yeah.
13
did I
plus 5, 18.
Well, plus 5 if it's local laws, criminal underworld, rumors, official and unofficial power players.
I did not have my plus 6 activated, so that's a 20.
It's a 20. On a we'll just give this to Lasker because he's got the plus when it comes to anybody in the criminal underworld. You've heard something. You've heard of like Chimera. But you seem to recall them being like a small-time smuggling operation. And you don't know much about it other than that the captain of that ship runs a small-time smuggling operation.
And what were the first 2 words?
Algaida Iom appears to be a name, but you never heard the name.
Okay, so I don't know the name, but I know Chimera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's a ship or a gang or...
The ship.
Okay.
The Chimera.
The Chimera.
Oh. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. You could look into it more on the local infosphere. Perhaps seems likely that it's probably been here lately since it's in his pocket. So checking ship schedules.
Sure.
Probably.
Yeah. Ogden will look into. Yeah, he'll look up the Chimera at the mention of it, and I imagine sees that it's coming into port soon.
Or no, isn't it leaving port soon? And it's the only one?
It is leaving port soon. In fact, it's leaving tomorrow on its way back to Absalom Station. And actually, if Iris wants to poke into it through his official channel, he can find that Algaida Iom is listed as the security chief on board.
Fantastic. Seems like... I almost said Mr. Lasco. No, seems like Mr. Willem, Mr. Teeves had a meeting with the head of security on the ship. The Chimera. Indeed. File that name away for later.
I worry that this is, if this one ship, this is the only ship leaving for the Pact Worlds, perhaps we had better catch it. Don't know.
Indeed. After our meeting yesterday was delayed, we we already booked travel on this vessel since it's the only one that's heading back to the Pact Worlds anytime soon. Is that accurate, Nick? That was my impression.
Sure.
Cool. Good.
What I mean
I
to say
figured
is
you'd do
that
it now,
looks like,
but if you guys wanted to already happen to.
it looks like I am booking passage on this ship then.
Yeah, you're the only one. Sid and I were taking that back to Absalom Station anyways.
Well, that's all right. I'll put it on the company.
From the front room, you hear a yell. Sid, a small pink Skittermander, walks into the bar and sees you holding the bartender captive, and makes for the door.
I meant to have them have Sid release the bartender.
That slipped my mind.
Slipped
Hold on.
my mind.
Hold on, Sid's the only one in the front room.
So this
Skittermander walks in, sees that you have the bartender standing there like this, looks between the two of you and sort of makes an involuntary yelp, and turns to head back out the door.
Okay. Now, being present for all of this discussion, they did talk about the Skittermander, is that right?
Yeah, you have perfect memory. Yeah.
Yeah. While standing still mostly facing the bartender, Sid's arm, which is already down at thigh level, the side of his thigh opens up, and a absolutely menacing-looking sidearm comes out, and he just, quick as a whip, aims it forward at the Skittermander and commands them to halt.
Give me intimidate, please.
Do my best.
You're pretty scary already.
I'm a soldier.
Yeah.
Hey!
What'd you get?
20. Not natural 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. But, you're also standing there. The bartender's like this. And the Skittermander was already sort of scared of you and making for the door because this wasn't what she expected coming in here at all. She freezes in place. I think I'm in the wrong place.
And
this gives...
nothing is broadcasted here, but over the comm unit, which is built into Sid.
I imagine Iris is getting everything.
Right. Sid indicates to Iris, I have a person of interest in the doorway.
And who
I immediately stand up and am interested.
You would not hear this, I'm afraid. This is inside of Iris's brain. Iris will...
A linky thing.
Yeah, will instead turn to Ogden.
That was a close one.
I almost said Ninden. Turn to Ogden and say,
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Turns to Ogden and says, it seems your little pink friend has arrived.
Ogden looks down at the dead Isoki and stands up, heads outside.
Shall I have them detained? As you,
Sid has the Isoki, or not the Isoki, sorry, the Skittermander at gunpoint in the door, clutching the backpack.
Thank you. Oh, good. You have the backpack. Ogden will reach for the backpack.
Sid's going to ask Iris if this is okay.
Sid says, allow the Vesk to approach the person of interest, and I'll put the bartender down.
Running.
Put the bartender down. Would you like to change those words?
Put the bartender down. He's not holding the bartender.
Oh no!
He simply had the bartender under arrest.
Requesting clarification. Release the bartender. Release the bartender.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And assist the Vesk in apprehending the Skittermander.
Sid will then look over to the bartender and say, "You are no longer under arrest," and then
the bartender
turn his attention back towards the Skittermander
for the back door and gone. Does not want any part of this. This is not her job. The Skittermander, as Ogden crosses the room, reaches into the backpack and pulls out a device and says, "Don't come any closer! I'll hit it! I will!" Obviously, unaware of what this device does.
You don't know what that does, little Skitter.
Sure I do! It'll kill us all!
Okay, sense motive to find out best way to make her stop. That's a 24.
24, she legitimately thinks that she could kill you all and is willing to die rather than let Ogden take this thing back.
Why do you have this device?
Actually, here. I kind of shove him out of the way. Why don't... Hold. I can help you.
Don't come any closer.
We're not with Division 9 or Starfleet or the stewards. My employer and I work for a large corporation with powerful friends. Perhaps we could help you.
Maybe.
I don't think you have any other options.
Diploma?
There's gonna that's gonna be a difficult bluff too, because Sid has, unless the disguise has not been washed off, a steward's logo as part of his detailing.
Well, even
I'm
if
good at bluffs too, but in this case, it's not a bluff. It's just
When she said
Yeah.
the truth, talking about
right,
that.
we're like, oh, like there's stewards right here, but that doesn't mean that we can't legally protect her from them, right?
I'm a lawyer. 20.
You'll tell everyone that they built this thing?
If
No.
that is what you wish. But first, do you have a credit? Just in your pocket.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Pull the crad stick out of the pocket.
I take
Pulls
it.
it out.
Ogden slaps the credit out of her hand.
No!
Excuse me, I am here in the middle of my own investigation. You are not going to interfere with this. I am going to go over there. I'm going to take this device from the Skittermander, and I am going to bring it back to my superior. That was
You
my
will-
mission.
I take the credit from the floor and tell him, you will do no such thing. You will absolutely not harm my new client.
You are interfering with official Vescarium business. You're going to have to talk to my superiors about this if you want to stop me.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile,
as
this
soon as
whole
you show
time,
us the-
Sid is via communit sending constant status updates to Iris and asking what should be done.
It's just
Stand
like a
by,
ring
Sid.
of basically binary question mark, question mark, question mark.
If this is the
Essentially,
property of the Viscarium, it will be released to you, and you'll be given all of the due credit for obtaining it. But she is a citizen of this station and deserves certain legal protections.
You don't know that she is a citizen of this certain
No.
station.
She's a citizen of the Vescarium. Ogden knows this.
She is under
it's-
my jurisdiction.
And does your jurisdiction allow for legal representation for any and all?
I don't think so.
You would be surprised.
I see.
Meanwhile,
does
Adelaide has
Adelaide-
come up behind her
Did
to like
Adelaide-
stand behind her. What's the word? Stand behind her
Client.
as her client, as if giving support. But
Oh.
also is now out of view and begins to cast a spell.
Does Adelaide did she pass bar in the Vescarium? Does she have the ability to represent someone?
Yeah, I feel like there is. Like, Ogden has a solid point here. Like, if in the Viscarium you aren't entitled to a lawyer,
What are you casting?
Looks like fatigue.
Fatigue. Or
on who?
But you rolled a nat
Skittermander.
one.
Oh, I rolled in that one.
That's what it
Done
says.
with this bullshit. The Skittermander hits the button, throws the device across the room, and books.
Apprehensive.
Ogden scrambles for the device on the floor.
Yes, good plan.
And
You get the device.
Iris will. I mean, I'm assuming Iris has come out the door at this point. If everyone else is out, will
Probably.
level their pulsecaster rifle at this Skittermander and shoot at them, given half a chance.
Yeah, roll me a thing.
That one.
That
All right.
one, Iris's shot
I-
goes wild.
I see how this is gonna go.
I'm just gonna go around Ogden. What are you doing with your hands on the device?
I'm turning it off as I was probably instructed to in my briefing.
Yes, you absolutely were given a briefing on how to disable this thing. So you managed to very turn it off. Thank goodness. Sid, what are you doing about this escaping skitter?
I am going to utilize harrying fire.
Okay.
I'm going to try to hit
Roll me
AC
a-
15 in order to make the next attack against this individual successful. Aha! Harrying fire.
Nice.
Pow, pow, pow. No damage.
Adelaide, the Skittermander is skittered right past you.
Wait, speaking.
Yeah, Adelaide like reaches out to try and do a touch with fatigue, and then just kind of like whiffs it, because I also pulled in that one.
Last go.
It's a Skittermander.
Seeing the steward taking a shot, Lasco will also quickly draw a pistol from his coat and take a shot at the retreating Skittermander.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Fail the trick attack, and
Failed it. How do you fail a trick attack?
at
That's a
level
very
1,
good question.
easily.
I was gonna say you be not level 5.
Yeah, at
Oh.
levels 1 through 6, a decent number of trick attacks fail. At 7, you become basically immune to it.
Yeah.
And now that I have the sounds
miss.
up, oh no!
Oh. All right, I
So,
gotta let that
it's-
Skittermander get away, guys.
It's something like this. Let's see. And then we have and then another. Just all misses, just like all in the door.
Yeah, and that Skittermander skitters away into the night. We're coming up on the end of our time here, so I'm going to narrate a little wrap up for you guys, as much as I would like to give you the chance to chase down this Skittermander at a high speed.
Can
Yes.
I just one thing real quick?
One thing.
Great. As the Skittermander escapes, Iris will curse and in Acatonian and put the rifle back away underneath their coat, and then turn to Mr. Lasco and say, "I'm sorry, sir, but do you have a permit for that?"
I do. Yes.
Fade to black.
Oh yeah, fade before I say I do. Fade as my mouth opens.
Yeah. We never really know. But you guys do manage to tie up the rest of this case after the Skitterman gets away. You find that Stephen was actually the one behind this murder, and he uses the same poison on himself before you can take him into custody. But there's definitely still a tie to this Acatonian crime family. It becomes pretty obvious that they were the ones who wanted Willem dead. I guess it seems he had gotten too troublesome with this murder thing he had. And the one real connection that you have to them, other than knowing that they're based on Akaton and Willem is related to them, is this connection on board the Chimera. So they're also Ogden's buyer, which gives him a good reason to go along with you folks tomorrow.
Mr. Lasco will also, now that the leader and lieutenant of this shipping organization has been destroyed, can probably acquire the organization at a decent rate.
Sure. Yes.
I'll have
My
one of
pacing is a little bit off, but you guys had such great interactions there going with each other that I really wanted to prioritize those, my little mystery, because I think it gave our audience a better chance to get to know your characters, seeing the way you interacted with each other.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
Ogden and Adelaide are going to be something.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Right?
Oh gosh.
Oh man. Adelaide sticks her nose everywhere it's not supposed to be, and Ogden is trying to keep secrets. It's gonna Good job today, you guys. Do you have anything you want to say before we wrap up for the day? Any last minute things you want to touch?
So our next session is in 2 weeks, right?
Yes, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
Our next session is indeed 2 weeks from today. We're going to a bi-weekly schedule. We're going to have, so we have a secondary slot in there. We're trying to figure out if and what we're going to put in there. But this show is going to a bi-weekly show to let our cast have a little bit more wiggle room with their scheduling time, have more outside of the show. Also, for the pre-recorded stuff, Twitch saves it for, I think, 2 weeks. But if you don't get to it in those 2 weeks, sadly, it's going to vanish for a while because I am away from my tower, and that's how I do all my editing for the show. I'm quarantined in Arizona, and I don't have it, so I can't really get it to you guys until I figure out a way to get my tower here or back to my tower, one or the other. COVID problem, that's just life right now.
Mm-hmm. It's also affecting podcast shipping times. Who knew?
Who knew?
Purely virtual content.
Something that might be worth noting is we started with about $200 shy of 5,000, or Cosmic Crit was just 200 shy of 5,000. Has gone up to 5,202 just during our show. So that's $100 an hour by the Crittermander Society.
Good job, you guys.
Impressive.
Keep setting in those donations.
Get those doctors their borders.
Get those doctors their borders. I am so impressed.
Never gets old. It
No, it really doesn't, Seth. I think I'm going to say it a few more times before the weekend's out.
That's going to be our sign off for the series finale of series 2.
Oh, get those doctors their borders. So yeah, big shout out to everybody once again who has donated or participated in the CritterCon. We can't make it happen without all of you. As usual, if you want an art commission, hit Seth up. He does great. We're gonna keep plugging him forever. I don't care if he tells me not to.
Phrasing? Are we doing phrasing still?
Please.
He might get too busy and tell but that's the worst case scenario. It never hurts to end. New Cosmic Crit episode tonight. We've told you all about CritterCon. Please, please, please keep donating, keep playing, stick around. The weekend's not over.
I believe that they're accepting donations until the end of the week.
Nice.
Friday. So you have a while to keep contributing, and they still have prizes. More details available on the Critter.
Some really nice dice bags.
Yeah, check out
there's a very nice dice bag. Well, I think that might be claimed, actually. I think that was the 5,000 goal. I think that was
was it really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can we get a link?
I put in my $10 ticket last night.
Oh, you did? So you're good.
I can't help myself. I love dice bags.
Can we get a link to the Cosmic Crit server in chat, somebody? You can also I lost my train of thought. Aside from Cosmic Crit, their Twitter feed is a really good place to get information about what's going on with the Critterverse. So follow them there at Cosmic Crit. If you have questions, comments, shout out for us, we're gonna try and read all of those on the air. Email us nonstandardaction@gmail.com. And we will take time to answer your questions about the show and the characters and all that jazz. We're going to try and set aside a little bit of time, probably at the beginning of every show, to take your comments, questions, whatever else.
Goodness knows that we like to talk about ourselves. Or at least
we love to talk about ourselves, and we love to answer your questions. Those of you on the Discord server, we'll answer questions there all the time. But if you want them answered live, shoot them to us in an email, and we will read those on the air. Anybody else got anything?
I think that's it for me.
Cool.
Stay inside.
Goodbye, everyone.
Wash your hands.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Wash your hands. Don't touch your faces, and we'll see you next week. 2 weeks from now.